Senior Advocate of the Kerala High Court, specializing in criminal trials and appeals. With over 42 years of standing at the bar, he has extensive experience in handling complex cases, including murder trials, narcotic offences, POCSO matters, vigilance inquiries, prevention of corruption cases, and money laundering, both at the trial and appellate levels. He was also the Special Public Prosecutor for the Central Excise and Customs Department. He was assigned the post of Standing Counsel for the National Investigation Agency and was also a former Standing Counsel for the Central Bureau of Investigation at the High Court of Kerala, further highlighting his reputation. His designation as a Senior Advocate of the High Court of Kerala stands as a testament to his distinguished career and the immense respect he commands in this legal community. Today, we are honoured with the opportunity to host Sri Shastamangalam Ajit Kumar Sir as a judge for Nuals National Trial Advocacy Competition. Welcoming you, sir.
It is our great pleasure to welcome Advocate N.K. Unnikrishnan sir, a distinguished and highly respected criminal lawyer, to our midst. With an illustrious career spanning 42 years, Advocate Unnikrishnan has established himself as a leading authority in criminal law, renowned for his exceptional trial advocacy skills and significant contributions to Kerala's most high-profile criminal cases. As a prominent defense counsel, Advocate Unnikrishnan sir has represented clients in numerous landmark cases, including the Defense Aid 2 murder case. His expertise extends beyond defense, having served as a special public prosecutor since 2001, successfully handling several major cases, including the Sweetie murder case, Jisha murder case, and the Kudatai serial murder case. We are honored to have Advocate N.K. Unnikrishnan sir with us today, and we look forward to his invaluable insights and expertise. Please join us in extending a warm welcome to this esteemed legal luminary. Prosecutor, you may start with your opening statement.
Your Honor, just a small query. Can the witnesses be sent out and called one by one so that there is no confusion between witnesses?
Yes, four.
Yeah, one by one, right?
One by one.
Can the witnesses? Put up a sign. Can you mention about the objects?
Yes, yes. The objects are represented to the
Permission to address the podium. Permission to address the bench collectively, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is the prosecutor for the state of Kerala and will be... No, I don't think. Okay. So we'll be dealing the case, in the case of Kerala versus Aditya Raj and Anirudh Das, that are the accused, and we have the prosecutors. So Your Honor, the prosecution... Your Honor, the prosecution stands before this court to, Your Honor, to seek justice for one Maya John, who was a well-renowned actress and the winner of the National Award for the Best Performer 2023. She was found dead in her house on the 5th of morning by her father, that is John Matthew. Your Honor, the case over here is so prima facie that the accused did not even get bail during the first hearing before this very honorable court. Your Honor, if the evidence produced is looked into carefully, it forms a chain of events as well as a chain of circumstantial evidences which prove beyond reasonable doubt that the accused are the ones who have committed the murder of Maya John, Your Honor. The prosecution, with the help of the evidence adduced and the examination of witnesses that will follow, will prove beyond reasonable doubt that the chain clearly points that the accused are the ones who have committed the murder of Maya John, Your Honor.
Which accused committed the offence according to prosecution, together or?
Your Honor, over here, Aditya Raj is the one who has done the act of committing the murder. and common intention can be seen as his brother Anirudh Raj has helped him commit the murder over there. For this
charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's the charge?
3 clause 5 of the BNS, Your Honor.
What's the charge?
Allegation, what is the allegation, what is the charge? How the
You have joined A1 and A2.
Your Honor.
You have joined A1 and
specific charge.
A2.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is the charge?
103 read with 3 clause 5, Your Honor.
What they ask is that how the manner in which it was done, the manner in which murder was done.
Whether both the accused were present.
Yes, Your Honor. Both the accused were present at the crime scene. Yes, Your Honor. So the prosecution will prove that with the evidence and the examination of witnesses. Your Honor, the prosecution will also be using the last scene theory specifically to show that accused were the last persons to see the deceased, and there could have been no other person who saw the deceased who were with or was in the presence with the deceased after the accused, Your Honor. Your Honor, the prosecution will exactly show this code that the accused persons had both motive and intention to commit the murder of Maya John, and the fact that the accused struck the trophy, that is the murder weapon, to Maya John, shows the act, Your Honor, over here. Thus, would attract section 103, that is murder, punishment for murder, Your Honor. Your Honor, and this said very act has been done in furtherance of common intention. This would clearly attract section 3 clause 5 of the BNS as well, Your Honor. Your Honor, the accused persons have not only committed these offences, but other offences under the BNS as well. The prosecution would like to point that out as well. Section 117, that is voluntary causing grievous hurt. Section 131, that is punishment for assault. Section 61 clause 2, that is punishment for criminal conspiracy. And section 238, that is causing evidence to disappear. Your Honor, this is an application under section 239 of the BNSS to alter the charges framed before this court. Your Honor, the prosecution in this case will prove all the elements of each of the offences that we are charging the defense with beyond a reasonable doubt. Your Honor, there are 2 points that has to be noted by this court, 2 very important points. Accused number 1, on 7th October 2024, had confessed his crime before the judicial magistrate first class voluntarily, without any coercion, without any presence of any external thing. And although it was retracted by him, but point to be noted is that it was retracted 2 months later after he made that confession. So it can still be considered as a valid piece of evidence, and if corroborated by other evidence, can be used for conviction as well, Your Honor. Your Honor, with respect to accused number 2, he had surrendered himself before the police. Police took him to custody. This happened on the 6th of October. Police took him to custody. He surrendered. He gave the disclosure statement. So the disclosure statement will also be provided, and it will be backed by the prosecution as well. He gave his confession to the police. The disclosure statement upon the court to decide if it can be considered as a valid piece of evidence or no. But Your Honor, the fact that the disclosure statement led to the recovery of a material object that over here is the murder weapon, that is a trophy over here, should be considered as a valid piece of evidence, Your Honor, over here. Your Honor, the only mistake Maya John made over here was she tried to expose the dark side of Aditya Raj. If she wouldn't, extension of 1 minute, Your Honor.
Yes.
Yeah, much obliged, Your Honor. Your Honor, if she wouldn't have stood for the truth, if she wouldn't have exposed Aditya Raj in front of everyone, she would have been alive here over here today, Your Honor. Your Honor, the prosecution will be calling the witnesses before this court in the particular order, Your Honor. First will be the dad. PW1 will be the father of the deceased, John Matthew, who is also the complainant. Second will be Ashwini Vijay Kumar, who is PW2, also the neighbor and friend of the deceased. Next is PW3, that is Ritik Roy, the neighbor of the accused, who is also a friend of the accused, family friend of the accused. PW4, Meera Vishwanath, she's the police surgeon. PW5, Nikita Srikumar, who conducted the forensic analysis report. PW6, that is the investigating officer, Mr. Imran Ali. If the court is pleased, can the council much obliged, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, the copy of the application has also been submitted to the.
Yes.
Close the dice.
Your Lordship, the counsel is representing defense in the present case. Your Lordship, this is a case where 2 brothers, Mr. Anirudh Raj and Mr. Aditya Raj, are being detained only basis of a merely suspicion, Your Lordship. the prosecution whole case is based on circumstantial evidence without even a single direct evidence linking the accused to the alleged crime, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, the Honorable Supreme Court, in the case of B.T. Chand Sarda versus State of Maharashtra, has laid down the pencil test, a stringent standard that governs the admissibility and the evaluation of circumstantial evidence. Your Lordship, according to this case, the circumstantial evidence must form a complete chain leads to the only possible hypothesis, that is to the guilt of the accused, and every other reasonable hypothesis must be enumerated by the prosecution. Your Lordship, the defense counsel will prove before.
In this case, the prosecution alleges that two accused persons are there.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Both the accused persons have two rival and contradictory arguments. Both their rival defense.
No, Your Lordship, they are not the rivals. Both the accused are brothers and they are trying to save each other. Anirudh Raj is trying to save his brother.
The
Aditya Raj.
prosecution has a definite case that A1 has done or A2 has done or both together.
Your Lordship, the prosecution is alleging that both the accused have committed the crime, but the defense will prove that not even the single accused.
Total denial.
Total denial. Yes, Your Lordship.
What according to you is the basic defect in the charge?
Your Lordship, the prosecution has charged both the accused in section 103, that is section 3, subclause 5 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Your Lordship, in section 3, subclause 5 of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, it is stated that in the ingredient that both the accused should have a common intention, and the common intention should be formed before the crime. Your Lordship, and in the present case, Your Lordship, the prosecution defense will show that both the accused did not have the common intention to commit the crime, because there was no relationship between Anirudh Raj and
the accused is related to this Maya.
there was only the relationship between Aditya. If at all, there was a relationship between Aditya Raj and Maya Jun. There was no relationship between Anirudh Raj and Maya Jun, Your Lordship. Your Lordship. So according to this case, Your Lordship, the defense will prove before this honorable court that not a single criteria of the said test is satisfied in the present case, therefore exposing the inherent weakness in the prosecution story. Your Lordship, the Indian criminal justice is accusatorial in nature, where the presumption of innocence is of the accused, and the entire burden of proving the case beyond reasonable doubt is on the prosecution, Your Lordship. It is not for the accused to prove their innocence, but rather for the prosecution to prove their guilt with unimpeachable evidence. Your Lordship, in the present case, defense will prove the prosecution has been enabled to discharge this fundamental duty. Your Lordship, furthermore, the presence of a third person at the crime scene, coupled with the forensic finding such as unidentified fingerprints, the complete absence of victim's blood on the alleged murder weapon, and the independent witness testimony of Mr. Jay Krishnan, who saw a man fleeing from the premises, raises grave doubts regarding the prosecution narrative. Your Lordship, these three elements collectively present an alternative hypothesis that is entirely inconsistent with the guilt of the accused, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, the prosecution, however, has conveniently ignored this glaring inconsistency and have relied upon speculation, unsubstantiated allegation, and on circumstantial evidence that neither form a complete chain of evidence and nor exclude every other reasonable hypothesis. Your Lordship, the absence of credible eyewitness, forensic lapses, and unable to establish a clear and unbroken link between the accused and the alleged crime, Your Lordship. The law does not sanction the conviction of an individual based on mere suspicion or probability. It demands nothing less than the proof beyond reasonable doubt. Your Lordship, the defense, through medical evidences, digital records, and the forensic analysis coupled with the witness testimony before this honorable will prove that the prosecution has been unable to prove their case beyond reasonable doubt. Your Lordship, the prosecution has not only failed to meet this threshold but has built its case entirely on circumstantial evidence so fragile that it crumbles under even the most basic scrutiny. Your Lordship, in addition to that, the defense will prove that Your Lordship, come to see.
How can you explain your fingerprint DNA?
Yes, Your Lordship. The counsel will explain in the course of the trial the fingerprints and DNA. In addition to that, Your Lordship, the defense will prove that the essential ingredient of Section 103, read with Section 3, Subclause 5, has not been satisfied, making the entire foundation of prosecution case legally untenable. Should I, Your Lordship?
Your Honor, this is a list of documents produced by the prosecution, may be marked accordingly as and when the prosecution would like to mark about it. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call the father of the deceased, that is John Matthew.
PW1 John Matthew. Please.
Oath has been deemed to be administered to all the witnesses. We will be administering it is deemed to be administered.
Yes, go.
Your Honor, also for the sake of competition, all the oaths have been presumed. Everyone is under oath, Your Honor.
Okay, proceed.
Can you please state your name and relation to this case? My name is... One second.
My name is John Matthew. I am the father of the deceased.
Can you please tell whom did you suspect for the murder of your deceased, of your daughter?
It was Mr. Aditya Raj.
Can you elaborate upon it?
My daughter Maya has worked with Aditya in the past, and that was a person that has terrified her. My daughter was a cheerful person always, and Aditya was one name that sucked the life out of her. And the moment I saw my daughter lifeless on that day, I knew it was Mr. Aditya behind it.
Since you stated Mr. Aditya was behind it, can you please tell the court why exactly, what made you think exactly that Aditya was behind it? Please explain to the court.
I've seen Aditya demean my daughter many times. At Maya's house, I once saw Aditya threaten her with death. I vaguely remember she was offered a role which Aditya expected to get, and Aditya told her to her face that if she took the role, he would end her life. Maya has confided in me. Maya tells me everything, and Maya has confided in me about how many times she has been told by Aditya that all that she is in her industry is because of Aditya's pity upon her. He has demeaned her, he has threatened her. I've seen bruises on my daughter that I've never seen on her while she grew up. Something tells me it's all been Aditya all the while. I've seen her flinch around him. I've seen her being extremely threatened by him. So
That's all for the Chief, Your Honor. The witness is open for cross-examination.
Your Lordship, Counsel for Defence seeks permission to begin with the cross-examination. Thank you, Your Lordship. Mr. John Matthew, I'm really sorry for your demise. I'm really sorry for your loss. Is it true to state that you do not live with your daughter?
as for the past few years, I do not.
Okay, you do not live with your daughter since the past few years. Okay. You have just now mentioned in your chief examination that you suspect Aditya Raj, and you also mentioned about that at once you saw him giving death threats to your daughter, as well as you mentioned about bruises.
Your Honor, objection. Compound question.
I have not even phrased the question, Your Honor. Let me just phrase the question. All of these things are omitted from the witness statement that you have given. May the court officer please show the witness's statement to the witness. Is this the witness's statement given to you to the police? Yeah.
Yes.
So, at the time of giving this witness statement, don't you think it was necessary for you to tell the investigation officers about these death threats and these bruises that you saw on your daughter? Yes or no, please. Don't you think it was necessary for you to? You can elaborate later.
I was not asked to tell any of this.
But don't you think these details are very?
Objection. The dad was at a very vulnerable position at that point of time and couldn't have said it every single possible thing that was the picture of it.
Your lordships.
It's a legitimate question.
Yes, sir.
Legitimate question. Commission.
Yeah.
Apologies, Your Honor.
Your lordship. Yeah. So please answer my question. Don't you think that this detail, as you are already suspecting Aditya Raj, you have mentioned, right? Am I right? You're already suspecting him, right? And don't you think you're suspecting him and then you seeing him giving death threats, you seeing bruises on your daughter which allegedly have, according to you, been inflicted by Aditya Raj himself? It makes a suspectable detail that you should remember. Am I right? Should you have remembered this? Yes or no, please?
I did remember it vaguely, sir, but my daughter was dead.
You remembered it vaguely. Okay. The council requests your lordships to please note down this point. Moving forward. Okay. Is it true to state that on the day of the incident, Maya called you at around 8:15 on 4th of October?
Yes.
Thank you. Is it true to state that she hung up the call when someone knocked at the door?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it true to state that she was facing online death and rape threats after the acceptance speech? Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am.
Point to be noted, your lordships. Is it true to state that Maya texted you on the day of her murder regarding online threats and wanted to go to the police regarding this? This is the WhatsApp conversations. Would you please read out loud for your lordships?
Objection, Your Honor. Authenticity of that hasn't been proved.
Oh, that can be confronted to the witness. Nothing wrong with
The
that.
document hasn't been marked as a valid piece of evidence yet, Your Honor.
He is only asking.
That evidence is part of the forensic analysis report, your lordships, and it is the WhatsApp messages that have been, and it is, lordships?
Message sent to him.
No, your lordship, it's a conversation between the father and the daughter on the day of the incident.
Yes.
Kindly read the first two messages. What you have stated, what she has stated to you. The first message, please.
Papa, the online threats are getting really worse. I even got anonymous calls. I'm getting really scared and I think it's time I go to the police regarding this. To which I replied, do you think he's behind all this?
Whom in this do you think he is behind all this? Who is this he that you are referring to?
It was Mr. Aditya.
It was Mr. Aditya. Point to be noted, your lordships. Further, please read.
What is the answer?
What is the answer? Please read.
Aditya.
I don't know, Papa. Might be his crazy fans. You know how toxic his fan base is.
So it's clear from this particular statement that you are suspecting Aditya Raj, but your daughter was clearly not suspecting him, which is the deceased. And your lordship, if I may, this be marked as.
You suggested.
Yeah, I suggest to you that this particular, like you are suspecting Aditya Raj, but your daughter is not suspecting. Further, I suggest to you that you, in concert with the side prosecution, has falsely accused Mr. Aditya Raj and Mr. Anidur Raj of the offences that they are charged
Objection, Your
with.
Honor. Hypothesis.
No, she says she does not know.
So a suggestion.
Okay, your lordships, if you please may mark it as defense exhibit number 1, your lordships. Okay. Also, your lordships, this is of the very day of the incident. This can also be classified as a dying declaration by the deceased because she.
No arguments, please. Come.
Okay, your lordships. I'll move forward, your lordships. Okay. Okay, so as of we were at the till the stage of this cross-examination, we established that you called your daughter at 8:15 and she hung up the call by stating that someone has came on the door at around 8:30. Am I correct? Yes, your lordships. Okay, moving forward. So from this, you are aware on the very day of the incident at 11, your daughter has mentioned you about the online threats and how scared she is. She has mentioned you about going to the police. don't you think after your daughter did not call you back, doesn't it raise any suspicions in your mind? Did you call her back? Did you try to inform the police or something? You directly came next morning.
It was very late that day already. I had no means to reach out to her. I had called her a few times, but she had not responded. So the first thing I did next morning was to go to her as early as I could.
Okay, and you reached there at 8:30. That was as early as you could for the safety of your daughter. Okay, point to be noted, your lordships. Okay, anyways. When you went there at 8:30, you saw your daughter lying there, right? In what position was she lying?
She was lying on her, she was lying on her back. She was not looking at me. Her eyes were closed.
Okay.
Maya was on a pool of blood. And I didn't know what I could do.
Okay. So, is it true to state that your daughter was under medical care for numerous medical conditions for 1.5 months? Are you aware of that?
I knew she had to visit the doctor a few times.
You knew she had to visit the doctor, okay. Is it true to state that strict abstinence from alcohol was advised to your daughter?
I am unaware of that.
Okay, you are unaware what the medical advices were given to your daughter?
I am unaware of the particulars.
Point to be noted, your lordships. Says a lot about. I suggest to you that you were not at very good terms with your daughter.
I was very close to my daughter.
Okay, still you don't know what kind of medical treatments and what kind of abstinence has been administered to her. Anyways, okay. Okay, is it true to state that your daughter was in a relationship with Aditya Raj?
Not that I know of, and not one that I believe is true.
I suggest to you that you did not like Aditya Raj. Yes or no, please?
I don't like anyone that threatens my daughter. And that follows to Aditya Raj.
And I suggest to you that this is the reason why you stated the name of Aditya Raj while giving the first information report to the police.
Objection. That's hypothesis.
No, that's a suggestion.
Legitimate
question.
That's
Like
just
you
a
ask the questions, we can ask.
Okay. Okay, then let's move further. Are you aware of the fact that your daughter was being threatened online by a guy called the Real Meninist? You are not aware of that?
I don't have online presence. I am not aware of.
I'm asking through your daughter.
And I do not know of the name. I know she has received numerous threats of rape and death.
Okay, I would request the court officer to please play an excerpt 2 in front of the court for the knowledge of the court. Your lordships, please.
I have won the National Award for the best performance. Something which a girl like me.
To save the time of the court, can be forwarded to play it from 1 minute if the lordships permit. Play it from 1 minute.
Your Honor, objection. Can the full video be played so that even the prosecution
Please
knows
do
as to
that.
what
Yeah, definitely you can. If he is doing that, you can do that.
Your Honor, we don't have any electronic means right now to look at the videos. If we can look at the whole video, if the court permits.
This is a document which is producing the court. No?
As of now, if the court permits, if your Honor's permit, it's fine with the prosecution.
You are right.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are right. You are right. You have a right to do that.
Yes,
You
sir.
have a right.
Yes, play.
Happiness. All I feel is dread. This is supposed to be one of the happiest moments of my life. It's supposed to be a huge celebration, but it's been a nightmare. The night that I won the award, I felt like I had to say something. All the things that have been eating up inside my head. I thought to myself, if not me, then who would say it? When would someone speak up? All I wanted was for people to at least consider the truth in what I was saying. But the reactions of the people were so horrible and it shocked me.
Your Lordship, from this point.
Especially the so-called Advocate fans. The hate and the comments that I've been sending me is just downright vile. Especially this one person who has been obsessed with bullying me. The real menace he calls himself. This guy, he won't stop. He's not just sending me insults, he's sending me death threats and rape threats. He talks about how I have to be taught a lesson and that women like me are the problem. He talks about hurting me. He talks about finding me. I'm scared. I'm scared to leave my house. I haven't slept in days. I'm not going anywhere that I like because I'm scared that he'll be there. Every time my phone buzzes, a wave of dread comes upon me because I know it's him.
This particular video be marked as defense exhibit number 2,
No
Your
one should
Lordship.
live like this in fear. No one should have to live like this. No one should be threatened like this.
That's all.
I know that
Your Honor, can the whole video be played, Your Honor? There could be parts which could kind of hide.
Also, Your Honor, how
The
can this
Counsel
be
for Defense
marked?
has
It's
no-
not- This can only be marked by a person who has gone through this video and prepared a report. Without that,
This-
it's
Without
not
that,
going to be marked, Your Honor.
the defense cannot mark the annexure, Your Honor. The certificate has to be also provided, the transcript of it has to also be provided with the person who's prepared, Your Honor. That's the objection with marking of the
The
sentence, Your Honor.
video already, the transcript as well as the video, Your Lordship, is already in the court, the records of the court. I am just marking it as a exhibit so that I can refer to it easily during the closing arguments.
What is the legal ground in order?
Your Honor, the person who is attesting.
Legal ground?
Yes, Your Honor, the person attesting to this video can mark this video, Your Honor. This
Right.
the person hasn't attested to it. Neither as a father can attest to it, nor the honorable defense counsel can attest to it. So only the person who can attest to the validity of this video can mark this video. If they cannot attest, then the video cannot be marked, Your Honor. The same thing goes with D1 also, the tweets, Your Honor. It has to be.
no problem. D1 no problem.
There is no-
okay. Your objection is
Your
valid.
Honor,
D1 okay. D1 no problem. This
Also, Your Honor, with regard to D1, there has been no report
There can
from Twitter
be-
given
there
to
can
the
be-
authenticity of that.
That can be played through.
more should be asked.
This can be played through the person who certified this.
Can
Yes,
you
sir.
not
Sir.
ask the witness and identify the person who is speaking there?
Oh, yes.
Whether it is his daughter?
Yes,
And
sir.
can you
Yes,
not
sir.
be asked
That part.
to say whether it is her voice?
Her voice or not.
Is it permissible?
Mr. John Matthew, is this your daughter?
You told that.
Is this is this her voice? Do you identify her? Yes. May the exhibit be marked as defense exhibit number 2, Your Lordships. Moving further from this, I suggest to you that your suspicion of Aditya was the sole suspicion of yourself, because Miss Maya is clearly suspecting someone else for doing the harm. That's all, Your Lordships. Now, one last question. Do you know someone by the name Siddharth Verma, Mr. Matthew?
Nothing that I can do.
Nothing other than you can remember. Absolutely. Thank you. That's all about the prosecution.
You can clarify any point that we
They are right.
Yes, Your Honor.
in re-examination. You can clarify any points you put there.
Re-examination.
Oh.
Yes.
Your Honor, for the sake of the competition, it's not been
No,
permitted.
not permitted. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
For the sake of competition. Okay.
So only 4 minutes.
That's all we can. Your Mr. Chairman.
Time.
Okay.
What's the time for?
Yes.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call. The prosecution would like to call PW2, that is Ashwini Vijay Kumar, the neighbor and the friend of the deceased.
PW2, Mrs. Ashwini Vijay Kumar.
Mrs. Ashwini, could you please submit the phone to the court officer for the fairness of the trial? Mrs. Ashwini, could you please... Oh, please.
One second, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, no. Sorry.
Yes, apologies.
Yes.
Can you please state your name and relation to the deceased for the court's record?
I'm Ashwini Vijay Kumar and I was Maya's next door neighbor and a very good friend of hers.
So since you were the next door neighbor of Maya, can you please state your relationship with Maya? How was it?
We were very good friends. We used to take walks every day. I was a trusted confidant. She told me everything about her life.
Can you elaborate upon it to the court?
Yes, we were great friends. We used to talk every day and I knew the details of her life. She knew the details of my life. We both lived alone in our houses. We didn't have many other friends. So we were both really close as both of us were alone. And we both developed a good friendship where we both could rely on each other and tell each other things about our lives.
So could you please tell the court what things did Maya tell you or what things you told Maya?
Maya told me about her life. She told me about her career. She told me about the struggles that she was facing in the film industry. And she of course told me about the terrible relationship she was in. She told me about Aditya and what he did to her. And
is this part of the testimony admissible?
Yes, Honor.
Is this part of the testimony admissible?
Here's the evidence, Your Lordship.
Why it is not admissible? It is admissible. Why it is not admissible?
It is hearsay evidence, Your Lordship.
Hearsay, not hearsay. Directly told to her.
Yes, Your Honor. Can you please...
Still, it cannot be admissible,
Why?
Your Lordship.
You give the legal.
It's not related to the facts of the case, Your Lordship.
It's not spoken to. Not so far spoken.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it a lying declaration?
Yes, Your Lordship.
It is.
This?
No, what the other lady told her. No. Okay, proceed.
For the sake of the court, I'll repeat the question again. What things did you tell Maya or Maya told you about everything since you guys were very good friends?
I told Maya about my life, about what was happening with my family. Yes, I'm just a homemaker. I told her about my husband and how he was living abroad. And she told me a lot about her life in the film industry and her personal relationship with, of course, Aditya and what he did to her and how he treated her and what he put her through and how much pain and suffering she was
giving general statements.
Can you please specify what things she told you about, since you mentioned Aditya Raj, can you please specify to the court what things she told you about Aditya Raj specifically?
That is only allowed here.
Yes, Your Honor. The counsel was getting it.
Answers are she is giving.
Elicit the facts.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Aditya was very controlling and he used to scare her. She was scared of him and they had a very toxic relationship where she was suffering a lot and it was at the stage where if he as much as lifted his hand, she'd flinch. She told me about how she was scared and how she didn't know what to do but still she loved him and she told me that she was suffering in that relationship and yeah.
Okay. So could you please narrate the events of 4th of October to the court in a proper manner?
4th of October. It was around 8:30 when I left the house to go eat dinner. And when I was going out, I saw Aditya enter her house. And I couldn't think much of it at that time. He used to come around often. He used to scream at her. It used to be a violent atmosphere in her house whenever he'd come. So I didn't think much of it at that time because it was a regular occurrence. So I left for dinner and when I came back around 1 hour later at 9:30, I saw an unusual car parked outside. And I saw Aditya run out of her house. And it was odd because he was running, and when I looked at him closely, I saw that he was hiding something in his jacket. I couldn't quite tell what it was, so when I looked closely, there was a specific moment when light fell on it and it was shining. It was a shiny object that he was hiding, and he ran away. And yeah, that is all I saw that night.
Since you specified the car, can you please describe the details of the car? And for the, Your Honor, can the car be shown if that was the car she saw?
Yeah.
Yes. Is this the car you saw?
Yes.
Your Honor,
This is the car I saw.
Annexure 8 be marked as P1. This is the car of Anirudh Raj, which was seen by the neighbor on the day of the occurrence of the crime.
Objection, Your Lordship. This is a generic photo of the car, which can be, there can be many black thoughts with the lawyer's emblem. Until and unless she states that she saw the number plate of the car, and
That's all for the Chief, Your Honor. Witness is open to cross.
So first we'll start with the black car itself that you saw and testified. Did you mention to the police about the anything related to the number plate of the car?
Not. I knew the number plate of the car, of course.
But did you mention it to the police officers, to the investigating officers?
Yeah, when they asked me the number plate, I told them.
Did you? According to the witness's statement, please
That's
can
not the way you should ask it. That's the wrong way. You asked her whether it be mentioned to the police. Okay, fine. How do you confront it? How do you put up that objection? That's not the way.
You to speak.
It's not saying. No, that's not the way. The way you are doing it is not the right way of putting your
It's not saying your statement.
It
is not
you
saying
are now
your
on an
statement.
omission. And
You
say
have
that
put a question, rightly you put a question. And then you have to testify whether is the statement is not seen.
Form part of the
That is sufficient. That is sufficient. You can show now what was it is not there.
Understood, Your Lordships. Kindly, Ms. Ashwini Vijay Kumar, is this the witness's statement that you have given to the police? Do you testify that this was the statement given? Right. So, in this witness statement, have you anyway mentioned about this black car and about the number and anything related to that?
I am scared of those two. I couldn't tell everything to the police at that time, but now in the presence of this court, I know that I'm protected. Now I feel like I can tell what I saw that night. At that time, I wasn't empowered. I was unsafe. I was living in my house and something terrible had happened.
Give a chance for the witness to explain all these things. Yes. Don't give a chance.
It's the correct answer.
Don't give a chance to the witness to explain all these things.
You have stated that you are a good friend of Maya and she told you everything about her life. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Where was Maya between the times of June 17th to 31st July?
Objection, Your Honor. How will a good friend know something like that?
What is the relevance even the prosecution?
They are neighbors as well, Your Lordship, and she told everything about her life in detail. Good friends, as they have shared. She has only mentioned
exact location.
Exact location where she's going. It's all privacy.
I'm not asking the exact location. I'm just asking that is she aware of the whereabouts? Are
It's
you?
been a while, I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay. Are you aware of the fact that Maya John was suffering from delusional disorder persecutory type?
You said terrible things about her. No.
She was not. That is what you testified. Okay. Okay, so you stated that at 8:30 you saw Mr. Aditya Raj, right?
Indeed.
Indeed. Okay. May I request the Honorable Court Officer to please play video elixir number 11. Can you testify Aditya Raj in this video elixir? Is this Aditya Raj?
Your Honor, same objection, Your Honor.
Why?
Is this Aditya Raj?
Your Honor, it's picked up.
Is this Aditya Raj Ashwini
Your Honor,
Vijay Kumari?
balancing the
Is this
witness,
Aditya
Your Honor.
Raj?
Objection,
Yes or no?
Confirming. It's confirming.
He's
Yes or no?
yelling.
Yes or no?
His voice,
Looks like
Your Honor.
him. It's a bloody
It looks like him.
It's a black
Objection,
and white
valid.
It
video.
looks like him.
Why?
Point to be
The counsel is screaming at top of his voice when the witness.
Scaring the witness, Your Honor.
because the opposing counsel is clearly trying to imitate her so that she does not give a statement. She is not letting her testify.
No, be
As to-
kind to the witness, no issue, you can ask
Sir,
her.
I was just trying to.
Threaten the witness.
Okay, so it might be Aditya Raj, right?
It's a blurry video.
It's a blurry video.
I cannot tell. It's
Just say
black
that.
and white. It looks like him, yes.
Okay. The person in the video is Anirudh Raj, Mr. Ashwini Vijay
Your
Kumari.
Honor, objection. They're identical twins, Your Honor.
By saying that you are saying either it should be Aditya Raj or the other one.
Yeah. So you are indeed confused between the
Your Honor,
two.
we'll prove it.
You are confused between the two. Is it true? I suggest to you that you were somewhere unsure that it was Aditya Raj.
I have seen Aditya Raj come to our house multiple times, so I know Aditya.
But how did you confuse in this video?
Because it is a blurry black and white video.
It's not a blurry black and
Your
white
Honor, that's a
video.
video from Raj residence. That's a video from Raj residence, not Vrindavan Gardens. How
And Your
is
Honor,
the
asked and answered, Your
But the
Honor.
accused is living in Raj residence.
Accused is not.
Face is visible.
Can you please?
Your Honor,
Whether the face.
As to the identification of the accused, Your Lordship, I have asked the pertaining question, and it is clear that she has hesitated in doing, and point to be noted, the further will be deliberated in my closing argument.
To her whether the face of what person walking is visible or not.
You can also ask that whether she can identify the twins among themselves.
Another thing, whether the scene is in front of the also the victim or of that of an Aditya.
Aditya Raj residence, Your Lordship.
What is the relevance here?
exactly, Your Honor.
The identification, as to the testing the veracity of the witness, that is what I was trying to establish, that what is the veracity of the witness, Your Lordships. Anyways, moving forward. Okay, are you aware of the threat, Your Lordships?
You didn't get the cue that the judge was asking you. It's okay. Because in fact, giving me a clue. Okay.
Your Lordships. Is it true to state that Maya became fearful and reluctant to leave the gated community due to the online threats such as from the real minister?
Yes.
Okay, but according to your witness statement, you have mentioned, and I quote, you have mentioned about the incident. I remember it. May I to the witness? Yeah. Is this you? Who is stating, I remember it vividly because that night I have heard loud screaming voices coming from the house. Though I had inquired about it to her day after, she brushed it off. Though she looked distressed, I noticed that her wrist had bluish black bruises. She became increasingly apprehensive after that, withdrawn even, and displayed fear and reluctance to leave the gated community. So we restricted our walks within the villa complex. Is this you?
Yes.
So which statement of you should be considered, Mr. Ashwini Vijay Kumari, the one you have made here, where you are implicating that it is Aditya Raj, due to which Maya restricted her walks, or which one to you replied right
Your
now?
Honor, the witness
That
has
wasn't
answered
real
the
arrest.
same question prior as well.
They're not connected, Your Honor. How can they be connected? They just took two isolated circumstances, asked if they both are the same.
The relevance is that there is already bruises on her hand.
Agreed, Your Honor. But they're not referring to any particular circumstance to contradict.
She has said, again I'll deal it with my cross. I just want your lordships to point it. I suggest to you that all of these testimonies that you are stating, you are motivated somewhere financially to state these kind of.
How could you say that? My friend died. My friend passed away. She was all I had. Why would I come to this court, put myself in danger, and do this for what? Money?
I suggest to you that without any substantial proof against Aditya Raj, you thought him to be the reason of Maya being fearful out of pure suspicion.
I saw them fighting every day. She was my friend, and I could see that
Again, your lordship, nowhere mentioned in the witness's statement.
Yes, you can ask that. You put it
You have nowhere mentioned in your witness's statement that you saw them fighting every day.
He would scream at her.
Yes, too.
Every day.
Please, please.
Nowhere mentioned. Your lordships, please note the contradiction. Your lordship.
Your Honor, objection. That
Objection is not a
witness statement is
contradiction,
just
Your
a
Honor.
piece of statement given to the police. It is not the evidence, exact evidence over here.
Omission. It's an omission.
Indeed, Your Honor.
Can you mark that omission?
Indeed, Your Honor. Counsel pointed out as a contradiction.
Omission.
Okay.
Don't be, you should not get excited.
Okay, so you have stated that at 8:30 when you were going out for dinner, you saw Mr. Aditya Raj. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, with whom you were going out to dinner?
Objection, relevance, Your Honor.
It will be proved through the course of the arguments.
I live alone. I was going alone.
You were going alone. And where was this place where you went?
Objection, relevance, Your Honor.
I went to have dinner in the restaurant.
And how far was this restaurant?
It was somewhat 5 to 10 minutes away.
5 to 10 minutes away. And what did you order that day?
I ordered a shawarma.
You ordered a shawarma. Okay. And you ate the shawarma and you came back.
Yes.
And till what time you came back? Like how much time it took for a shawarma to bake?
Your Honor, objection over here. How would
Did not
she
time.
know?
It will be established through this.
Relevant questions are put in.
How much?
About 20 minutes or so.
About 20 minutes. Okay. So 5 minutes of going, 5 minutes of coming back, 20 minutes of preparation, 5 minutes of eating. Is that right?
I don't eat that fast.
10 minutes of eating.
Sure.
Still, you come at 9:10. I suggest to you that you actually came at 9:10 on the day of the incident, and you are lying under oath before this honorable court that you have seen Mr. Aditya Raj running at 9:30.
No one eats. I did not eat that fast. It's.
I suggest to you that you are lying under oath in
I did
front of
not
this
eat
court.
that fast.
Okay. Okay. So you have also mentioned that you saw the black car, right?
Yes.
Okay. How many doors were there in that car?
Your Honor, objection. She saw the black.
The black Thar which is mentioned is clearly a model which is a 3-door Thar, your lordships.
Your Honor, she did not inspect the black Thar, Your Honor.
Say 3 doors, she will now say it is 3 doors. Give her an indication.
Did you? That's all, lordships.
You did not put omission, an important omission.
As an exhibit?
Yeah, she claimed that she had very close relationship and she used to speak everything.
Sorry, your lordships. May this be? May this be marked as exhibit number D3, your lordships. Okay. Thank you, your lordships.
Your Honor, can the counsel repeat what is D3? Can the counsel repeat what was marked as D3?
The omission. The omission was marked.
And what part of the omission was marked from the statement? Can the counsel repeat that as well so that we can mark as well?
Sure.
Just put it here.
Yeah. Controlling, scared, suffering, all of the things that she has exaggerating, she saw daily, all of these things
Your
are
Honor, the
omissions.
witness never said that. Witness pointed out every single point which is stated in the statement. It cannot be considered as a contradiction, Your Honor.
I'm marking
That
it as
is
an
the
omission.
point. That is the point for
Your Honor, admissibility, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Subject to admissibility.
Right.
Subject to objection,
You
Your
can
Honor.
say that it is not a contradiction.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now the prosecution calls Ritvik Roy, neighbor of the accused.
Ritik Roy.
This witness was. You're prepared as well.
Not really, Your Honor. Witness is telling the truth, Your Honor.
Independent witnesses. Your Honor. Can you please state your name and relation to the case?
Good evening, Honorable Judges. I am Ritik Roy. I'm 65 years old. I'm a neighbor to the Raj family.
Can you please identify the car in the document?
Yes, that's the black Thar car which belongs to Anirudh Raj, and I can clearly see that it's car because I remember the number plate also.
Your Honor, already marked as P1. Can the court officer please play annexure 11? Can you identify the man in this video?
Yes, that's Anirudh Raj.
To be marked as VR1, Your Honor. Anirudh Raj. Can you please give your opinions about the Raj family?
Yes, I have been a neighbor of the Raj family for about 4 decades now. And the nature of the Raj family, I would say, is quite interesting. They hold tremendous political influence within Malgudi. Their father was an MLA for about 30 years. He is Devendra Raj. He has 2 sons, Anirudh Raj and Aditya Raj. Talking about the nature of the 2 sons, I would say they have an unbreakable bond. But particularly about the character, Anirudh Raj is very temperamental. He is manipulative. Aditya Raj, on the other hand, he is in the film industry. He is also manipulative in nature. And I think they are the kind of people who would use a lot of power to do certain things and get what they want, and that is about it.
Do you have any specific recall of any of incidents that happened that made you think this?
Specific recall of incidents, let's just say during their college times, they got into a situation, sort of like a criminal situation, which is tough to get out of, but they used their political influence, if I remember correctly, to get out of that particular instance, and that is like a ringing memory to me.
Witness open to trust.
Objection, Your Lordship, to the last statement should not be
Part is
considered.
objectionable. That part of the witness last time. That is
It's
regarding character of the case.
Subject to admissibility.
It's
Subject to
nowhere,
admissibility.
it's nowhere mentioned.
We'll find the subject to
Only
admissibility.
pointing out.
Yes, sir. Subject to admissibility.
Whatever he has stated is nowhere been adduced before or.
But you can process it.
That is not what the judge said.
Yeah,
But you can process it.
He was indicating a legal point. Please say that.
You can process it, not the point.
objectionable, Your Lordship.
You cross-examine. You cross. What did the witness say? Is it a good time?
Mr. Roy, how was your relation with the Raj family?
I would say I have known them for 4 decades, but I don't think we had like a pretty strong relationship.
You don't have strong relationship. So how do you know what the violent temperament and manipulative behavior of those sons?
I have 2 children, Aril and Vihan. They used to be pretty close with the sons of Mr. Devendra Raj, and from them I got a lot of information.
Are they still close with them?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge?
I don't think so they are.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Point to be noted, Your Lordship. So, how many children do you have and what do they do, Mr. Ritika?
I have 2 children, like I mentioned.
of his children.
No, it's cross-examination.
I have 2 children, Arav and Vihan, and I'm a businessman and a producer, and they take on my, they are carrying on my business.
So, okay. So, how is the relationship between your sons, Mr. Roy?
My sons are pretty close to each other.
Pretty close to each other. Point to be noted, Your Lordship. So, we can infer that because your sons are close, so they could commit a murder for each other.
Just because of the fact that they are close to each other does not mean that they would commit a murder.
In your chief, you already have stated that Raj mother was close, so that's why they could do anything for each other.
Your Honor, hypothesis, Your Honor, objection. It's not a question posed.
I am just
It's like
suggesting,
opinion.
Your
Can you
Lordship.
please give your opinion?
I am just suggesting.
If I may,
Yes.
I have said that they share an unbreakable bond, but it's their temperamental and their aggressive nature which might have led them to commit this murder, but not their unbreakable bond per se. We cannot just.
You are referring to their temperament.
Yeah.
So why special incident that you have mentioned in your chief? So why was there no police report or anything against both the Raj brothers?
That I'm not sure.
You are not sure why there was no criminal charges against both the brothers. Point to be noted.
How will the neighbor know the
Your Lordship,
You have brought out a question that they have an antecedent.
Yes, sir. How will the witness FIR in a charges?
That is a valid question.
Criminal charges, Your Honor, that is a valid question.
You can ask whether these are
Only brought it out. He has a right to ask.
yes, Your Lordship. That's what I'm asking. That
No case.
any antecedent.
okay. So is it true to state that you are a businessman and a film producer?
Yes, sir.
So, I put to you that you are jealous of the success of Raj family, Mr. Roy.
No.
You are not. Okay. I put to you that you were jealous of the Raj brother as they were more successful and famous as opposed to your son who were in the same line or same industry.
No.
Objection. That's nowhere given as
It's not been given.
Yeah,
Your
that's
Honor,
right.
the sons working in the same industry is nowhere been
Same
given.
industry, Your
Your
Honor.
Lordship, the
Witness out of the story of his sons.
But
He's
sons
not
working in the
mentioned
same
that it's same
industry
industry, Your Honor.
is not given anywhere, Your Honor.
And he's
The
not
counsel
taken
is just
out of
assuming they work in the same
It's
industry.
a suggestive question. Every lawyer will ask that.
Your
Much
Lordship,
obliged,
the witness has already stated in his cross-examination that his son assists him in his profession. So that means he's a film producer.
Your Honor, profession over here, the witness also stated, just for clarification, witness also stated that he's a businessman
And a
film
producer.
producer.
And a film
So
producer.
over here, assistance could also mean he's assisting in the business as well. The difference over here is just coming to the conclusion to misguide the code, Your Honor.
I can have some suggestions.
Oh, so this is my last question. How can close-knit family be a reason for them committing crime, Mr. Roy? I'm just answering.
As I have stated before, just because they are close-knit family does not unbreakable bond between brothers might not be the only factor. I have been talking about the nature as well as character of Anirudh as well as Aditya Raj and their previous history as well, and this might have led them to this.
That's the input.
I would like to pose one more question.
Right.
With the leave of the floor. Is it true to state that you were one of the pancha in the recovery mahazar of the dented trophy?
I was.
Okay. Would you please state for the knowledge of the court that where was this trophy recovered from exactly?
The trophy was recovered on 6th, the date is 6th at around 5:30 p.m. I was with another pancha, also with the inspector, Imran Ali. Anirudh Raj was also there. He took us to his bedroom where there was a cupboard and the trophy was recovered from under white sheets. And I personally witnessed this.
Okay, that's all the questions.
Why do you ask them video?
Your Lordships, he is the only independent pancha in this recovery mahazar. The another pancha, which is Anthony Moses, as a police officer, just to check the veracity of this.
Established an evidence against you.
That was the duty of the prosecutor to bring it up.
Why did you do that?
That was the duty of the prosecutor to bring it. Then you can process up. Now you have brought out a new thing during your process.
He has established that with an independent witness.
So, how many witnesses? Three more.
Cross-examination time is over.
Over. Next person can be called.
Your time for cross-examination has been extinguished. It's over.
More witnesses are being
Yes, three more witnesses.
Three more witnesses
Defense
from the
time
prosecution
is
side, Your
over.
Honor.
Cross-examination
Yes,
is over.
yes. How many witnesses more to be examined?
Three more witnesses. Your Honor.
Three more. Is that right? So,
In the interest of time, we have only...
We can cut short the evidence. 11 question need to be.
Your Honor, chief examination, we have time.
Chief
Cross
examination,
examination.
now defense witnesses are to be examined.
Defense and cross-examination.
No,
That's
I
not,
cannot.
that we cannot
Like that. Cannot stop it like that.
If there is a chief examination, there should
There should be followed.
Maximum
But they can
Other time
reduce the time.
limit minimized.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Time
definitely.
can be minimized.
You
Only the
asked
relevant
11
questions.
questions.
Only the relevant questions.
We have also asked some questions. That might also be.
Don't enter places where angels fear.
Yes.
Lordships.
Don't enter places where angels fear to tread. First principle of the cross-examination.
God that one. Your Lordship learned the lesson.
Your Honor, calling Dr.
Only
Mira.
maximum the extension can...
Rather than competition, it is an experience.
Other.
Yes, you complete your cross-examination in 5 minutes. Only ask for 11 minutes.
Oblige, Your Lordships.
Your Honor, calling Dr. Mira Vishwanath, doctor who conducted postmortem.
PW4 Dr. Meera Vishwanath.
Can you please state your name in relation to this case?
I am Dr. Meera Vishwanath. I conducted the postmortem.
Can you identify this document?
Yes, that is it.
This is your sign?
This is my sign.
P2, postmortem certificate. Can you tell the court your observations from the postmortem?
Yes. So the main injuries were contusion.
You can confine to the injuries.
Injuries.
And your opinion?
Yes.
Your Honor, just for the refreshing of the memory, the document.
Yes. So there was a contusion on the left side of the forehead, just above the left eyebrow. Underneath the scalp showed hematoma as well. There was a lacerated wound, coronally placed on the right side and top of the head, 5 cm above the ear. And underneath the skull showed a linear fracture 8 cm long on the right parietal lobe. The brain showed 3 contusions on the left frontal lobe, on the right parietal lobe, and outer aspect of the left parietal lobe. There were fractures on the 3rd and 4th ribs on the left side, and there were multiple small abrasions on the body at various places. So from this, there was some sort of blunt force trauma on the head that's been given as the cause of death as well. There were fractures on the 3rd and 4th rib, some sort of, it's not just a fall, or there was some sort of struggle as well. Multiple abrasions on the body, that's what I've understood.
Witness open for cross.
Struggle means struggle. Then you should have been given such an explanation when a question comes.
Yes, yeah. Yes.
What is the cause of death you have known?
So the witness said it blunt force trauma.
Yes, blunt force
The witness said it.
I've mentioned.
Yes.
So doctor, is it true to state that the cause of death or disease was due to the blunt force sustained to the head?
Yes.
Okay. Is it true to state that the injury inflicted on the deceased skull could only be inflicted by a heavy object?
Yes.
Yes. So, is it true to that there were multiple abrasions present on the body of deceased and her 3rd and 4th rib were fractured?
Yes.
So, I put to you that these injury could be inflicted on the deceased by falling from the stairs?
No, because if you're falling from the stairs, there would just be one sort of impact injury, right? There were multiple sort of
But
injuries.
she could roll down the stairs.
No, then there would be injuries all over the body, right? Here it's given 3rd and 4th on the left side of the rib as well.
So, there is not a slight chance that she could be falling from the stairs. Okay, you completely deny it.
Yes.
Okay, so in your post-mortem report,
yes,
this is the post-mortem report prepared by you. So, in the post-mortem report, you have stated that the odor of alcohol was faintly detectable on examination, especially near the mouth. Where else did you smell the odor of alcohol?
nowhere else. It's given near the mouth.
Okay, only near the mouth. So, by this, we could assume that there is a possibility that the deceased might have been have drunk, may have consumed alcohol.
There was no presence of alcohol as given in the liver or anywhere else. So.
But the alcohol is checked from blood test, no?
Yes, but the blood test is not given. It's not under my.
So you did not conduct a blood test.
Visceral test was taken, but after that I don't know what's happened.
So it is point to be noted, Your Lordship, the visceral test is not presented before the court. Okay. So, is it true to state that the liver of deceased saw fatty changes and the heart was flaring?
Yes.
So, okay. So I suggest to you that the fact changes in liver was due to regular consumption of alcohol by the deceased.
No, I'm not. Perhaps I'm not.
You don't know.
I don't.
Point to be noted, Your Lordship. She don't know.
Thank you.
You know, calling Nikita Sri Kumar the scientific officer for this case. She prepared the forensic analysis.
It's Nikita Sri Kumar as PW5.
Can you please state your name in relation to this case?
Nikita Srikumar, and I am the forensic scientist who is examined.
Can you identify this document?
This is the forensic analysis report that I have made.
Marked as P3. Can you identify this document?
Yes, this is the lectures to this is the transcript of the videos that I received from the exam.
P4, Your Honor.
Your Honor, once. Can you please repeat which one was it?
P4.
Annexure. Because you have mentioned it as well.
Annexure. Can you identify this document?
Yes, this is also the transcript that I sent to him.
Annexure 10, P5. Your Honor. Lastly, this document.
This is another video that is found in the DCS mobile phone and was being transcribed.
Annexure 13, P6. Can you tell the court the findings of your forensic analysis?
Okay, so I was sent, can I have the...
Yeah, sure.
I've been sent seven objects for examining, which was a mobile phone, broken liquor bottle, an Indian flag label pin, an Apple Watch, a platinum ring, and the trophy, as well as the nail clippings. And I've been given forensic fingerprint and DNA samples. And should I move on with the findings?
Tell the court your observations.
Yes. So when I examined the mobile phone, one fingerprint was conclusively lifted, and it belonged to the deceased Maya John. And on examining the broken liquor bottle, multiple fingerprints were lifted, and it was conclusively matched with FP1, which is the deceased again. And with reference to the Indian flag label pin, partial fingerprints were lifted, but then it was not conclusively recognized. While with the Apple Watch, it conclusively matched with the deceased as well as Aditya Raj. And with the platinum ring, again, it matched with Aditya Raj as well as the deceased. And with reference to the nail clippings, the National Award trophy, there were several fingerprints which are lifted, and all the fingerprint samples which are provided matched conclusively with it. And with regard to the nail clippings of the deceased, DNA samples from Aditya Raj as well as Anirudh Raj were recognized from that.
Open the prosecutor.
Doctor, is it true to state that numerous partial and conclusive fingerprints were recovered from the crime scene which did not match with fingerprint of both the accused and the deceased?
Yes, there were objects which did not match.
Want to be noted, Your Lordship?
Your Honor, can the question be specified as to which object is the counsel talking about? It was a very general question, Your
There is
Honor.
report. You can confine the questions.
Much obliged, much
That
obliged.
is in the report.
Is it true to state that the fingerprint found on liquor bottle conclusively matched with the fingerprint of the deceased?
Yes, but there were several other partial fingerprints also.
Several other partial fingerprints. Is it true to state that there was no blood or DNA sample of deceased found on the trophy, the alleged murder weapon?
Yes.
Going to be noted, Your Lordship. There was no blood or DNA sample. Okay. You have stated that the skin cells of both the accused were found from the nail clippings of the deceased. Put to you that the DNA of identical twins is same.
No, that is a misconception.
It's a misconception.
Yes.
Okay. Now you have mentioned to the examiner.
It's wrong answer.
Wrong answer.
Your Honor, if the witness may be
Your
given time,
Yes, yes.
opportunity to explain, Your Honor.
Yes, answer.
If I may explain, it is a common misconception that the identical twins will have
the similar DNA. However, the recent studies have proven that there is scope for mutation with respect to environmental changes, and essentially after splitting up, the zygote independently develops, and there are chances that the individuals have different DNAs. It is not 100% same.
That's the point. Could I ask you to which reports you are referring, like for the recent reports, recent
There have
development?
been several studies by the National Forensic Science Laboratories and other medical departments.
So, let's see.
I don't know.
Mr. Imran Ali.
PW6 Investigation Officer Imran Ali.
Can you please state your name? For the record of the court, can you please state your name and relation to this case?
I'm Imran Ali. I'm the investigating officer of this case.
Yes. Your Honor, can the counsel, the prosecution approach the investigating officer to mark evidences if it has been. Can you please identify what is this report?
This is the first information report prepared and attested by me.
Yeah. Your Honor, the FIR be marked as P7.
Objection, Your Lordship. FIR is marked by the informant, Your Lordship, not the investigating officer.
No.
It has been attested by the investigating officer.
Can be marked through the investigating officer. Only FIS can be marked through the informant.
Can you please identify this document?
This is the inquest report prepared by me.
Your Honor, the inquest report be marked as P8. Can you please identify this document?
Yes, this is the scene master prepared by me.
Be marked as P9, Your Honor. Can you please identify this document?
This is the property seizure memo prepared as part of the investigation.
Be marked as Exhibit P10, Your Honor. Can you please identify this object?
Yes, this is the phone that we seized from
Your Honor, be marked as Material Object 1. Can you please identify this object?
Yes, these were the pieces of broken pieces of the bottle that were seized from the location.
Be marked as Material Object 2. Can you please identify this object?
Yes, this is the label pin that we got from the location.
Be marked as Material Object 3. Can you please identify this object?
Yes, this was the watch that we seized from the location.
Your Honor, be marked as Material Object 4. Can you please identify this object?
Yes, this was the platinum ring we found on the body of the deceased.
Your Honor, be marked as Material Object 5. Can you please identify this document?
Yes, this was the arrest memo.
Can you please tell the code for?
Of Aditya Raj.
Yeah. Your Honor, be marked as. One second. P11, Your Honor. Can you please identify this document?
Yes, this is the disclosure statement of Anirudh Raj.
Can you please identify this signature to the court? Can you please state whose signature?
Yes, this was Anirudh Raj's signature.
Your Honor, be marked as P12.
Objection, Your Lordship. Disclosure statement cannot be admissible in the court. Whole disclosure statement.
Disclosure statement can be marked. Contents therein can be impeached.
They are marking the whole statement, Your Lordship.
No,
Whole statement cannot be admissible for the truth, sir.
You can cross-examine on the point regarding the impeaching the thing. Disclosure statement can be marked.
Disclosure statement cannot be admissible in the court.
Not admissible. To the extent it is admissible, to the extent of recovery.
That part should be only marked, Your Lordship.
That part only can be marked. That part only will be considered.
It has been marked, the court will consider only that part.
What is that part as in the
That
Irish?
you can cross-examine. Only admissible part will be considered. When a document is short, there will be inadmissible part of evidence also. That will be excluded from consideration.
Can you please identify this document?
Yes, this is the recovery master that we prepared.
Your Honor, recovery mahazar be marked as P13. Can you please identify this document?
Yes, it is the recovery memo.
Was it prepared by you?
Yes.
Your Honor, be marked as P14. Can you please identify this object for the court?
This is the Denver trophy that we recovered from the house of the A2.
Can the trophy be shown to the
Yes, this is it.
Your Honor, for the sake of the competition, it's assumed that these are the same trophies. It is marked as material object 6.
Right.
Yes, Your Honor?
Sorry.
6, Your Honor. Can you please identify this document?
This is the arrest memo of Anirudh Raj.
Your Honor, be marked as Exhibit P15. Can you please identify this document?
This is the confession made by the accused before the first class judicial magistrate.
Can you please identify this signature for the court?
That is Aditya Raj's signature.
Confusion 164 under 6 correct, right, sorry.
Can you please identify this signature?
That will be marked subject to proof.
Indeed, Your Honor. The signature, for the sake of the competition,
Totally inadmissible document.
so it's, Your Honor, it's a confession made before the judicial magistrate. Indeed, Your Honor. Be marked as P16, subject to admissibility, Your Honor. Once again, Your Honor, the council will just look at all the any other documents which has to be marked. Can you please identify this document?
This is the CDR of Mayajan.
Your Honor, be marked as P17.
What is this? CDR?
Annexion number 4.
Serial of deceased.
Annexion number 4, Your Honor.
Please read.
Can you please identify this document for the court?
This is the vehicle registration detail of the black Mahindra Thar that was found in the location.
Your Honor, be marked as P18. Annexion number 9 as P18. Can you please identify this document for the court?
This is the tower location analysis of the mobile phones of A1 and A2 on the day of the incident.
Your Honor, be marked as P19. Your Honor, additionally, the prosecution would like to submit that there is a small clerical error. In the documents produced by the prosecution, the visitor test report has been misplaced somewhere by the head constable and will be produced before the court before the court adjourns today, Your Honor.
Objection to
It's a small clerical error, Your Honor. The court may please consider it a small mistake, Your Honor. 1 second.
They will say your suppressor report because
Yes. Yeah, Your Honor, annexion number 2 was marked as P4 and there is a subsequent video recording for it that can the annexure video recording be marked as VR2? Annexion number 2 is the same video recording. The transcript has been marked as this. For the same, Your Honor, annexion number 10, the same video recording be marked as VR3, Your Honor.
where are the certifications?
Your Honor, all the certifications have been complied with under section 63 B of the BSc, Your Honor. Your Honor, the same annexion number 13. The 13A is the video recording of the same transcript. Be marked as VR4, Your Honor. The council is giving the final report to the investigation officer. Mr. Imran Ali, can you please state your findings for the case?
So this case, it is charged with 103 and 3 clause 5 DNS. Charged with 103 and 3 clause 5 is DNS. The first statement was received from Matthew John, the father of the deceased, on 5th of October 2024, via audio call. And as part of it, our team, we went to the location as soon as possible. We recorded the FIR at 8:35, and around 9 we reached the station. As there were 2 teams, there were around 6 people, including myself. We reached the location at around 9. After which we conducted the inquest and all the other procedures. It was very evident that the cause of death was blunt force trauma, which was later confirmed by the doctor as well.
You know, an small extension to 1 minute that the IO will explain the findings of the case. Please elaborate on it.
The deceased was lying.
Yeah, please tell.
The deceased was lying in a supine position with blood pool around her head. She was also lying near the staircase, and it was found by Matthew John, according to which we conducted the inquest report, and the body was sent for postmortem afterwards.
Can you elaborate upon your investigation? Is there anything else which you missed, as it was marked by the council as well? The council may show the annexures which was marked. The investigating officer may elaborate upon it. Why was there this one? Objection, Your Lordship.
All documents are marked.
Yes, Your Honor. Just showing the annexure and just asking explanation about that annexure, Your Honor. Can you please explain this annexure to the court? This is the disclosure statement, Your Honor, marked as P12.
On 6th October 2024, Anirudh Raj confessed before the police that he is the one who committed the murder, and
That is inadmissible.
That is inadmissible in court, Your Lordship. This is completely Your Honor, this is chief examination. The witness will be open for cross
inadmissible in chief examination also, Your Lordship.
That is inadmissible. That part cannot be admitted.
Your Honor, it's not the evidence, Your Honor, not the evidence.
That is why the document as such is not.
Indeed, Your Honor, not the IO is telling the events that took place on that day. He's just explaining what the event took place at that place. The defense counsel can dispute on it if the court may allow, Your Honor.
Why tendering document as such is part? Why tendering evidence? Time is over.
Just last, Your Honor. Last, Your Honor.
Tendering evidence on inadmissible item of evidence can be brought in evidence.
1 minute.
That is.
Indeed, Your Honor.
That is the point.
Indeed, Your Honor.
The witness can say that upon our investigation, she has come to the conclusion that the accused is guilty. And so I filed the final.
Indeed, Your Honor. Can the counsel rephrase the question for it? Can you please state what findings did you get after you received this disclosure statement?
as part of the disclosure statement, our team went to the house of the accused and we seized the dented trophy from the room of Anirudh Raj, which was in the cupboard. That has been produced before the court.
There's one more small piece of evidence, Your Honor. Your Honor, P16 was marked subject to admissibility, Your Honor, but if the I was given an opportunity, I would explain as to what that actually happened. This is the confession statement of Aditya Raj before the judicial magistrate, Your Honor.
This is the confession statement of A1, who made the confession before this honorable court, that is the first class judicial magistrate of Malgudi. Upon telling me that Aditya Raj is the one who committed the murder, I suggested him to give the statement to us so that we can write it down, but he insisted that we should go to the court and he wants to make a disclosure before the court. That is why, as a result of which, this statement was made.
That's all for the Chief, Your Honor. Witness is open for cross. Just
Is it true to state that the trophy recovered from the house of Mr. Anirudh Raj is the murder weapon, alleged murder weapon?
After receiving the trophy,
Yes or no, please?
Your Honor, I see.
You are free to elaborate. Just answer the question in a yes or no. After that, you are free to elaborate.
Can you repeat the question?
Definitely. Is it true to state that the trophy recovered from Anirudh Raj's house is the murder weapon?
Yes, I got the information from, I contacted with Nikita, the doctor who, the expert who confirmed it.
Okay. Is it true to state that there was no blood or DNA sample of the deceased found on the murder weapon?
There was no blood, I suspect
Yes
that the
or no,
accused
please?
wiped it off.
Mr. Investigation Officer, yes or no, please. After that, you are free to elaborate.
Blood was not there.
Blood was not there. A point to be noted, Your Lordships. I put to you that something other than the trophy could have been used to commit the murder of Maya John.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
According to my investigation, that is not what I concluded.
Okay. But there is, anyways, let's move on to the next question. Is it true to state that there are numerous partial fingerprints recovered, partial and unconclusive fingerprints recovered from the crime scene?
There was the fingerprint of A1, A2 and also an unrecognized.
And were there any unidentified or partial?
Are asked to the scientific officer. They can't be asked to the IO.
Cannot testify for
He
the
is
scientific
the officer.
EO, such question can be put to the EO also. EO also. Such question can be put to, because EO has verified the entire documents.
Is it true to state that numerous partial and inconclusive fingerprints were recovered from the crime scene which did not match both the accused persons and the deceased? Yes or no, please? Yes. Point to be noted, Your Lordships. Moving further, is it true to state that according to the security witness of the witness's statement of the security guard of the vicinity of the residence in which Maya John used to live in?
There was no witness statement, Your Honor. Those are all 8 memo statements which cannot be used by the defense counsel over here, Your Honor, until the chief examination is done by the witness.
That is a legitimate question. Because she's the investigation officer.
He can ask any part of the
That question can be put to her.
Any part of the process.
Is the failure of the investigating officer to not to bring him as an witness.
Alright, Your Honor. Apologies, Your Honor.
Is it true to state that according to the witness's statement of Mr. Jayakrishan, the security guard of the residency in which Maya John used to live in, an unidentified person was seen running along the house of the deceased in a hurried manner at around 9:30 p.m.? Yes or no, please?
No.
No. Okay. This is a contradiction to the witness's statement.
Your Honor, how can the IO contradict to the witness statement of someone who's not been produced before the court yet?
Take my words.
No, it can be asked because that is there in the prosecution record.
Your Honor, that is not a 180 statement, Your Honor. It's an 8 memo statement.
Statement is there. You can ask him whether that statement is there in the record.
How can the IO, Your Honor, what the counsel is trying to put forth is, how can the IO contradict someone else's statement?
He can. It's not a question of contradiction. He's just pointing out that such a thing is there in the record.
Your Honor, the defense just pointed out a contradiction that the IS contradicted the statement. This is just pointed out. That's it.
IO is the person who is producing the entire
He is responsible
report and he is responsible for the investigation.
Obliged, Your Honor.
You will have to fill up that gap.
Obliged, Your Honor.
It's only for information.
Yes, Your Honor.
He is placing a different person in the crime scene.
I put to you that you did not waste any sweat in investigating the possibility of another person entering the residence of the deceased on the night of the incident. Yes or no, please?
I have investigated all possible.
Yes or no, please? After that,
I have investigated.
You have investigated. Okay. Are you aware of the? Please show this. Are you aware of the handle by the name The Real Menace and the trouble it was causing to Miss Maya John?
Your Honor, that cannot be produced as an evidence as Twitter certification has not been given. The Twitter certification that could be mere prepared by the defense as well.
It is stated in the proposition, Your Lordship, that all the compliance. This is an electronic evidence, Your Lordship.
Your Honor, 63 certification the council seat, but the certification of Twitter hasn't been provided yet.
It is an evidence. It is an evidence produced by the investigation officer in the Your Lordship. It is given in the proposition, Your Lordship.
Your Honor, to be marked here,
as to the question.
Your Honor, be marked subject to admissibility.
Prosecution has produced that document. That document you are not lying. When you are not lying, even when they can lie.
If certification is given, the council will
No, that is your document. You are producing the records.
Your Honor, if the document.
Your Lordships, this document is detrimental to this case, and the defense counsel will prove. Yeah. Please, this be marked as Exhibit D4.
Your Honor, subject to admissibility, subject to objection, Your Honor.
Admissibility is your document.
Your document.
It's your document. You have not made use of it.
Hold
The other parties
and the
making
same
use of
time.
it. How can we challenge that?
That is reprobate and acknowledged.
May I say it?
It's only on academic side.
Time extension for the IO. There are at least 5-6 important points. Please, Your Lordships. Detrimental to the case. Just 2-3 minutes. I'll conclude, Your Lordships, please.
Maximum 5 minutes.
Thank you, Your Lordships. Obliged, Your Lordships. Okay, I'll start again. Are you aware of about a handle by the name of the real?
Confine the question with respect to the documents marked. That will be helpful.
This
we will be doing justice.
Yes.
Give it.
You can challenge the documents you have that has been marked.
Understood. Are you aware about? Is this the document produced by you before this honorable court?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Can you read the first tweet for me? Can you first tell the date and time on which this tweet was made?
11:45 p.m. September 15, 2024.
Actually, there's an error. The second tweet.
8:07 p.m. October 4th, 2024.
8:07 p.m. Your Lordships, October 4th, 2024. Can you please read out loud the contents of this tweet?
Think you'll make it to the press conference tomorrow? You won't live it to see the morning, Maya. We'll make sure we never speak again. Tonight's your last night. We're coming for you.
This is the same person who was there in that video annexure 2, which is marked as Defense Exhibit 1. Is this the same account, the real menace about whom Ms. Maya was talking about? Yes or no?
Counsel, can you clarify on which video you're talking about?
The video 2A which was played before this. Actually, she doesn't know. 2A.
That need not be produced. You can only refer that she is the investigating officer who produced it. You can only refer the video.
Yeah, there is a certificate also, Your Lordships, the transcript of the video which has been marked by the prosecution.
That has been prepared by Nikita Sri Kumar, Your Honor, not investigating officer, Your Honor.
But there is signatures of Imran Ali on this particular documents, Your Lordship. This particular documents. This is the portion which I am talking about. Are you aware about this video which Maya John made on 27th of September?
Your Honor, if the video could be shown to the investigating officer, it would be easier for the investigating officer to identify which video they has been talking about.
She might be knowing it.
She
might have seen that.
Just for recalling your memory, Your Honor, it can be the code is
if you want.
The whole video. The whole video you wanted to see?
You're showing the whole thing, so the whole video, of course.
I don't contest. Time limits. That is what I was saying. That is
She is aware of that video.
You are aware of it.
She is aware of that.
Yes, you can answer.
Yeah. So in this tweet, it is clearly stated on the day of the incident at 8:07 p.m. that you will not see the day of tomorrow. Further, when this is corroborated with this evidence, did you not think about the possibility of this guy, real menace, being the person who could have committed this crime? Did you investigate in this matter? Yes or no?
I did investigate, but it didn't lead to any conclusive evidence leading to the case.
And what investigation as to you made and how it did not resulted in any conclusive evidence?
Because the unidentified person was recognized by the security guard later as another person who was residing in the gardens, and as a result, and he didn't have any motive for the same.
What the IO is stating right now is nowhere mentioned in the files of the investigation. Have you mentioned it anywhere in the files of the investigation? Where is it mentioned?
Because it is not part of the case. The case is against A1 and A2, and this, I don't know what.
Your Honor, objection, Your Honor. Your Honor, small objection, small clarification.
That is a legitimate question.
No, Your Honor, small clarification. The defense is referring to annexion number 7. The defense is referring to only tweet number 2. If tweet number 3 is referred to, the tweet is made on 12:56 p.m. on 5th October, after the deceased was dead, and talking about that they killed the deceased, Your Honor. That also may be considered by the court, Your Honor. The action is being marred.
Yes, no problem. The defense counsel does not have.
That takes place after the incident, right?
Okay.
That takes place after the incident.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, is it true to state that the deceased had prolonged telephonic conversations with Siddharth Verma, Tanya Tiwari and Anurdhati Padikal on the day of the incident itself?
Yes.
2-3 hours before dying?
Yes.
Yes. Point to be noted, Your Lordship. Have you anywhere produced the witness statement of these 3 people?
No.
I put to you that you did not waste any sweat in inquiring about what conversations the deceased had and in what way it could have impacted the circumstances surrounding her murder.
I investigated and I got to know that they are friends and they were having just casual conversation.
I put to you that you did not present the accused persons before the accused A1 Aditya Raj before the magistrate within the 24 hours stipulated time frame.
Yes.
You did not present. Point to be noted, Your Lordships. I suggest to you that while you were not presenting accused 1 before the magistrate, this was an inducement for accused 2 to give the disclosure statement to you. Did you pressurize accused 2 to give the disclosure statement which has been given? Okay.
Excuse me,
time is up.
Time is up. Okay, Your Lordships. Just one last question, Your Lordship. One last question. As it has been already stated by Nikita Shri Kumar, that a Visra test was conducted. Why was this test not produced before this honorable court?
Your Honor, as mentioned by the prosecution,
It's for her to answer, Your Lordship. It's for her to answer.
You can argue that.
Indeed.
Please.
Your Honor, it was conducted, but it was the reports were misplaced.
The reports were misplaced. Okay. This might be a possibility. Is this the final report of investigation prepared by you?
Can you show that?
Yeah, please.
Yes.
So, in this particular final report of investigation, you have stated everything pertaining to the investigation, except that you have done the Visra test and as to what findings this Visra test had.
That is because it was a mistake from our end to lose it, so we didn't mention.
Okay, I suggest to you that you intentionally suppressed that report in order to. Okay, so it has been omitted from the final report of investigation as well as it has been not produced before this honorable court.
It was not omitted, it was misplaced.
Point to be noted, Your Lordships. That's all for this witness.
Yes.
Defense Chief Counsel.
The prosecution chief continues.
Sorry, prosecution chief.
Your Honor, the defense chief.
Defense
also.
How many defense witnesses are
3 witnesses, Your Honor.
3.
Your Lordship, Counsel seek permission to call defense witness first, Mr. Jay Krishnan.
Yes, yes.
Jay Krishnan as DW1.
Mr. Jay Krishnan, would you please describe yourself for the record of the case?
My name is Mr. Jaykrishnan. I'm 58 years old and I'm the security guard of the government.
So, Mr. Jay Krishnan, how would you describe the personality of Miss Maya Jones and her conduct while being a resident of Vrindavan Gardens?
Maya ma'am was a very erratic kind of woman. Her behavior towards me especially I will describe as some days she would be kind, sweet to me. Some other days she would be very inconsiderate and rude. Though I couldn't find any explanation for this kind of erratic behavior. And one thing that I would like to highlight is I believe she was an alcoholic. Actually, there have been many instances where I have been asked almost every day to bring liquor bottles for her, and this has been happening for a long time. And one time she was so drunk that I even had to she couldn't go to her own house, and I had to escort her. So I would say she's a very heavy drinker. Drinks every day.
So Maya John had a drinking problem. She was dependent on alcohol.
Definitely. She
Point
drank every day.
Point to be noted, Your Lordship. Mr. Jayakrishan, when was the last time you saw Miss Maya John and how was her demeanor?
The last time I saw Maya John was the day that she died, and that time at around like evening I saw her. She was looking like very unusually happy that day. I was on my rounds and I saw her go into her house. She was on the phone. She was laughing very loudly. She was very unusually happy.
Your Lordship, point to be noted that the deceased was unusually happy on the day of the incident. Mr. Jayakrishan, would you please, for the knowledge of the court, describe as to what observation you made on the day of the incident?
So on the day of the incident, earlier that day, I saw like a group of Aditya Raj fans. See, ever since Maya ma'am won that award, his fans have been very incessant, and they have been coming to the gate and they've been trying to jump the gate. And even though I am old, I tried my best to, shoo them away with the best of my abilities, and I believe I succeeded. But when I was doing so, a group of them disappeared. When I was dealing with a few of them, the other few of them disappeared. And at that point, I believed like, okay, maybe they just went away. But now I don't know. I don't know, maybe they have found one more entry. Now I don't know. And another thing I saw that day was at around 9:30 p.m. There was this very, very big, large, fat man running, like right by Miss Maya's house. And that is one more important thing I saw.
Point to be noted, Your Lordship, there were many people who were trying to enter the Vrindavan garden to meet Maya John on the particular day of incident. That's the end for Chief, Your Lordship.
Your Honor, can the counsel go near the witness to cross the witness?
Yes.
Mr. Jai Kishan, how old are you?
58.
So, are you competent enough to be a security officer? Considering your age?
Objection, Your Lordship.
Absolutely. Relevant. So, Your Honor, relevance. She told about her old age. She mentioned about her old age. The counsel will get to it.
It's not that much old.
Your Honor, for a security guard, Your Honor. For a security guard, Your Honor. What is your duty as a security guard?
To secure.
And at the age of 58, can you run around behind someone who is can run very fast to catch that person?
Again, Your Lordship, relevance.
Your Honor, the counsel will get to it.
Do you want me to show you?
Yeah, please show it to the court if the court allows, Your Honor. So, how many exits are there in the?
4.
So, how many houses are there in the?
She will run as a person having 20 years.
Yes.
She will run as a person having
Just further. How many houses are there?
16.
How many people live in those houses?
It depends. It changes. I've been there for 7 years. Sometimes single people live there. Sometimes families.
You've been there for 7 years. So, which gate do you live? Which gate do you stand in front of?
So generally, I'm here. I'm stationed here, but I take rounds every 1 hour.
You take rounds every one. So the other 3 gates are there's no other security guard near the other 3 gates. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So throughout your 7 years, has there been no security guard near your other gates?
Yes.
And what is the height of the gates approximately?
I'm not very good with numbers.
You were there for 7 years, Mr. Jai Kishan.
That's not enough to learn.
Can you please show the code? You have to show this much. This much.
Objection is not answering the question, Your Honor.
The relevance is there, Your Honor.
No.
Yeah. Can you please tell the court how high it was? Can you please come down and tell the court how high it was?
You saw it.
Yeah. This much. This much. This much.
Like that.
Maybe just a bit taller than you.
Okay, so this much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So, you told about Maya's behavior.
Yes.
She was very inconsiderate and rude to you some days. She was very nice to you some days. So how did you decide which days she was inconsiderate and rude to you and which days she was nice to you?
I did not decide that. Maya did.
So Maya did, am I right? Yeah. So you told the court that it should be highlighted, you know, word by term. It should be highlighted that I believe that she was an alcoholic. So you're saying that you believe, but you cannot conclusively say that she's an alcoholic?
I bought her alcohol every day.
From where did you get her alcohol every day?
Bevco.
Bevco. Which bottles did you get her?
Generally, she preferred.
Which bottles did you get her?
She preferred OMR.
OMR. And how many bottles did you get her?
It depended on the day.
Why you are asking such questions?
You know, small.
Continuously relevance, no relevance is being established.
Relevance will be established.
You're waiting for that.
Yeah, can you please state how much that OMR bottle was for?
It was around 800 rupees.
And how much rupees did she give you every single day?
It didn't work like that. So generally, she'd keep like a tab with me.
Your Honor, point to be noted, Your Honor. She just stated she gave money every single day. Then she went away.
Objection, Your Lordship. She nowhere stated that.
I did not say. And
She did not state
that.
Money for what?
Alcohol, Your Honor.
She never stated that.
Taking alcohol.
Yes, sir, buy alcohol for Mrs. Maya John, Your
She has
Honor.
not stated that.
No, she just stated
She has
that.
not.
The court just stated that.
Can I confirm? Can I please?
The court has
Can
taken
I please
cognizance.
confirm, Your Honor?
You don't have to reframe your answer.
I will explain. So my employer.
Audio recordings are there, Your Honor, in case of any dispute.
Can I just confirm, Your Honor? My employer is Miss Ashwini, and Maya ma'am is a very good friend of Ashwini.
I got my answer,
So
Mrs. Jayakishan.
whatever Maya ma'am
Objection,
said,
Your
I
Lordship.
had
The
to
counsel is badgering the witness, not allowing her to speak. At least allow her to speak what she has
Your
to
Honor,
say.
the witness is just elaborating a narrative which is not
At least
even
allow
related
her
to
to say what
what
she
the
has
question
to
was
say.
posed to
I would
her.
like-
Learned counsel,
Court
please. let-
permitted. Court permitted.
Okay, Your Honor. Much obliged.
Ashwini ma'am was my employer. Maya ma'am and Ashwini ma'am were very close. So whatever Maya ma'am asked me to do, I had to do it. Because if I did not do it, Ashwini ma'am would get angry and my job would be at stake. So regardless of any financial aspects, I had to complete whatever Maya ma'am told me to do.
Okay. So you stated that some day that on the day of the incident she was unusually happy that day. Isn't she a human being? Can she not be happy that day? What is unusual about that?
Again, objection, Your Lordship.
Your Honor, it's a relevant question, Your Honor. Maya John is a human being. Something could have happened. She could have been unusually happy. She could have been happy. But what is unusual about that?
Because generally that whole month she was not. It was a very stressful time for her.
You know
I'm not
about
sure
you
what
know
was
about her.
happening.
Yeah.
But so that's why I found it unusual that she was so cheerful.
Yeah, you stated about Aditya Raj's fans coming around the gate and all. Which gate?
So they were at the front gate.
They were at the front gate. Okay. So, and how did you identify that those were Aditya Raj's fans? Did they come with a badge over here? I am Aditya Raj's
They
fan.
told me.
They told you specifically, like, I am Aditya Raj's fan.
So especially since she won that award, right? That something about a acting award or something.
Yeah.
Since then, so many of his like very.
I just asked you, Mr. Jayakishan.
Can I please finish?
Mr. Your Honor, the counsel is just voluntarily not answering.
Many of his fans were coming and they were telling, we are Aditya Raj fans and we want to see Maya John. We are Aditya Raj fans.
So you stated that you're 58 years old, am I right?
Yes.
So where did you see that big, large fat man? Can you please show the code?
Here.
Here. From where did you see?
I was taking my rounds and I was here.
You were here. So did you go run behind him, that big, large fat man?
Yes, I did run behind the big,
So
big large fat
Your
man.
Honor.
But I tried, can I explain?
Yeah.
I ran behind him, but I was not able to catch up with him.
A big,
So
large
I-
fat man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe he had
And he
good cardio.
climbed that big, large fat. Don't look over there.
Objection,
Look at the code.
Objection, Your Lordship. Again and again badgering the witness, Your Lordship.
But
Again and
he
again.
has already
answered.
Yeah,
He has already answered.
different question, Your Honor.
Let us speak at least.
So you saw that big, large fat man run from here, Your Honor. House number 10. And as she stated, she was here. And that big, large fan ran from here, jumped that
wall which is this height. Big, large fat man, Your Honor. So, Your Honor, that point has to be noted, Your Honor.
You can argue that.
Indeed, Your Honor. So, how many rounds do you take in each day?
Generally, I take a round every 1 to 2 hours.
Every 1 to 2 hours. So, when did you go on a round that night?
I couldn't pinpoint the specific time.
Your Honor, point to be noted, she exactly stated in her chief examination that she went around 9 to 9:30 around that point, and she saw that big, large fat man also over there that
Oh, you
time.
meant, I'm sorry.
Your answer is done.
Next
question.
Objection or not, sir? Object again.
That night.
Not
Your
letting
Honor, the witness is answering.
Vincent has answered the question.
That's a general question. You should confine to your question.
That night or that day?
That night.
That would be 9:30 as I stated.
How do you exactly remember it was 9:30?
Because I stated so. I remember it was 9:30 and I gave a call to Ashwini Vishwanathan ma'am around that time because it's my instruction that whenever I see something suspicious to call my employer. So I called her but she did not pick up. So
That's all for the cross, Your Honor.
That's all.
Your Lordship, can't you seek permission to call DW2, Dr. Sunny Nakulan?
Yes.
DW2 Dr. Sunny Nakulan.
Doctor, would you please describe yourself for the record of the case?
I'm Dr. Sunny Nakulan. I'm 47 years old. I am a licensed therapist and Maya John was my patient for the past 1 year.
Doctor, would you please describe as to why Maya John was under your treatment for around past 1 year from the day of her demise?
She had extreme anxiety. From the time she came, she had anxiety and depression. And this was made worse by her dependency on alcohol. And she had delusional, this made her like borderline delusional. We diagnosed it as delusionary disorder, which was of the persecutory type.
So, point to be noted, Your Lordship, she was suffering from delusional disorder, persecutory type. Is this the report discharge summary prepared by you?
Yes.
Your Lordship, please mark. Yes. In Exhibit 14 is Defense Exhibit 5. So, Doctor, would you please describe for the knowledge of the court as to why was she under your care from 17 June to 31st July?
Can I have a copy of that?
Yes.
So Miss Maya John was admitted, brought in by her father, John Matthew, and she was in an unconscious state. She was inebriated, and it was suspected overdose. After treatment, she was shifted to the Department of Psychiatry, and she was her diagnosis was that she had major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder. And her major problem being this delusional disorder, which was fueled by her alcohol consumption and her dependency on alcohol. So we did the treatment, and she was asked to come back for therapy sessions as well.
Overdose of what?
Overdose of alcohol.
Alcohol.
Yes. Your Lordship, it is point to be noted that the deceased was brought to the doctor by her father, Mr. John Matthew. So, Doctor, would you please describe the impact of this decision on Maya John?
The impact being, since she had delusional disorder, she was extremely paranoid. She always thought that there was conspiracy, some sort of conspiracy happening against her even within the industry, that she was a target of some sort of hatred. And she internalized the suffering of her peers in the industry, so much so that she stated that as her own experiences to other people as well.
Doctor, how would you describe the relationship status of Miss Maya John?
I cannot officially, cannot confirm that, but she has stated that she had casual relationship with people, and yeah, that's it. No particular relationship or anything about relationships.
That's the answer, Chief Your Lordship.
So you said you prescribed medicines to Ms. Mahajan, correct?
Yes.
Right. So, and you're a therapist.
I am a
You
psychiatrist.
just said you're a therapist in your statement, Your Honor.
I am a
On the
psychiatrist.
contradicting her statement.
I'm a
Badgering, let us speak.
Your Honor, she said therapist. Concede it. Your Honor.
I'm a psychiatrist. I did my MD in as a psychiatrist, but I'm a licensed therapist because I focus on therapy.
Got my answer. Thank you. So you said that she was suffering from depression and anxiety, correct?
Yes.
Right. So can this make her vulnerable to external people, correct? So can we say that she was vulnerable and someone could have exploited her? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And you also said in your statement that she admired Aditya. She admired Aditya.
She had a professional relationship with him.
Can I show you a statement? And you yourself have said that she's admired Aditya.
She had a crush on him. I think that is what I've stated, if I'm not wrong.
You said she admired Aditya under your own statement, Your Honor.
Objection, Your Lordship. It is stated crush, not admired. Could you show the statement?
Sure.
Show it to her.
Yeah, that she had a crush. Yeah.
And then what is the next one?
I got an impression it was more of an admiration.
Admiration. So you said admiration, correct?
Yeah, that was my impression.
Admiration, Your Honor. So can we say that if someone is in a vulnerable position and if they admire someone, then that someone can always exploit their vulnerability? Because you're admiring that certain someone and you're also vulnerable, correct? Yes or no question?
I mean, it would be an assumption.
Yes, so possible, correct? No? Great, thank you. Okay. So you said that she internalized the fear and struggles of others as her own, correct? And she never had any struggle or anything.
She did have struggles, but whatever she described were not exactly
Okay,
hers
so
all the time.
so if she made any statement about someone threatening her, that would not be to her, that would be to someone else, correct? Yes or no? Because that's what you said. She was suffering of paranoia. She internalized other
That
struggles.
does not mean she's always paranoid. She has.
Okay, so how did you know the moment that she was undergoing paranoia and when she was not undergoing paranoia?
I can quantify that, but again, these are what I understood from my sessions with her.
Okay, and so the whole period she was not under paranoia?
No, that's not possible.
No, so in the whole period she could have told you about things that were threatening her, but you thought it was paranoia because you didn't tell this to the police before.
She did have threatening messages and things like that, but
So then how do you know which message was under paranoia, which message was under a normal circumstance?
I am not.
So you don't know.
Objection, Your Lordship, badgering the witness.
She has not stated so.
No, no, she stated under paranoia, all the struggles are internalized, Your Honor. And if the therapist herself doesn't know when the deceased was under paranoia and when under not.
She is not with me all the time.
Agreed. Thank you. Okay, now coming to the entertainment industry. Can we say that in the entertainment industry there's always pressure on individuals to perform well?
Definitely.
Great. Okay, and how are the power dynamics in a relationship in an entertainment industry? Can we say that individuals in more vulnerable emotion states feel themselves drawn to powerful figures? You're a therapist, you should know this.
Could
Yes? Correct. Now, would it be possible that Maya due to her mental health condition and admiration of Aditya, and Aditya also being a powerful figure?
Objection, Your Lordship. Why is the prosecution counsel assuming that Maya is not a powerful figure? She is an actress of the same stature.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, let her answer.
So, admiration towards a powerful figure in a vulnerable position. Could that have led to her being manipulated or taken advantage of? You said she was vulnerable and you agreed that strong, powerful people can take advantage of vulnerabilities, correct?
Yeah.
So can we say that Aditya could have taken advantage of Maya? Yes or no? Strong, powerful figure and she's vulnerable. Yes or no? Yes. Thank you. Okay. Are you aware that Aditya Raj recently lost a very prestigious award?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, would you agree that actors in this competitive industries always experience some intense pressure when they lose such an important award?
That's
Yes?
human nature. Yes.
Human nature, correct, thank you. So now, given Maya's public allegations about the casting couch culture, would you say that such statements which would further increase that pressure or would further hamper their reputation? Yes or no? You said human nature, right? So yes or no? Yes, thank you. So would you agree that if Aditya had something to hide, if anyone had something to hide and their reputation was at stake, they could have had a motive to kill someone? Yes or no?
Objection on lordship.
Let's see it, Your Honor.
No, you ask you.
Okay.
Your Honor, can I make it?
Yes or no?
Can I repeat the question?
So, if someone in a very high, powerful background has something to hide and someone is trying to bring that out, and this someone is admired by the other person, would they have enough motive to kill that person? Yes or
In
no?
your lordship.
It's a hypothetical.
I put to you.
Hypothetical question.
Oh, let's see it, Your Honor. Also, is there any confidentiality between you and Maya?
Yes, she's my patient.
Yes. And under what grounds did you break the confidentiality by coming here and testifying in this court about her mental condition?
That's only my diagnosis. I have not said anything.
You just revealed everything about her life, her depression, her paranoia, her anxiety.
That's my
Objection, Your
diagnosis.
Lordship. She has testified because it is relevant in the trial, and now she is
Agreed.
dead. The confidentiality is till the time.
You can argue that.
Okay.
Final question.
Obliged, Your Lordship.
So you are a very qualified therapist, correct? So where is this confidentiality going?
That's what I said. It's
Where is it even? You're a qualified therapist and psychiatrist, 15 years of experience. So where is this confidentiality given? Like what binds you to this confidentiality?
the Mental Health Act. There's a privileged communication part.
Okay, and you have not complied with all this once, correct? Yes or no?
I have.
But that does, the death is not a part of that. Death of the person is not part of all of the provisions in that. There are 6.
I'm not aware of the
Death,
legal
objection, not aware of the Mental Health Act which binds her, Your Honor.
You can argue that. You
Agreed,
can
Your
argue
Honor.
that.
Closing,
Yes,
cross
sir.
first.
Teams, please take note that the researcher of both the teams are not allowed to make oral submissions to the bench. Please take note.
Defense would like to call upon DW3, Ms. Ishita Raj.
Ishita Raj, DW3.
Ms. Ishita Raj, would you please describe yourself for the record of the case?
Yeah, I'm Ishita Raj. I'm the sister of the Raju brothers.
Yeah, please continue.
Yeah, I'm Ishita Raj. I'm the sister of the Raj brothers.
Okay. Would you please describe the relationship between you and your brothers?
So we are a very tight-knit family. My mother passed away shortly after I was born, and my brothers have been my pillar of support through everything. They're very protective of me. Anything and everything in my life has been through their support. I've seen them grow. Anirudh has been someone who has been following the steps of my father in politics. Aditya has been into the field of entertainment and acting. All through our life, everything I've been through, everything at all, they've been my pillar of support. And they are my family. Practically they raised me. They're like parents to me because they have been there for me for everything.
How would you describe the relationship between Maya, John and your brother, Mr. Aditya Raj?
Maya, John and Aditya have worked on a couple of projects before, and they've been friends for almost 2 to 3 years now, and I knew they were in a relationship. She has been a frequent visitor to our house. Our family adored her. Even though initially when they started dating, there were issues between her father not approving the relationship she had with my brother. Even then, we warmly welcomed her into our family and our lives. Initially, things were great. But with time, Maya's behavior just started changing. It was not normal. Like small, minor concerns were becoming like a huge problem for her. And if I could describe it, I would say that she was becoming very controlling and obsessive about minor things, and like I could see the strain my brother was going through. I mean, he confided in me. He told me how stressed he was and how badly he wanted to get out of it and how he wanted to end things.
So, would you please describe Maya's reaction after Aditya's decision to break up with her?
So, it was frantic actually. She went crazy. She started threatening my brother, accusing him, and she started saying that she would make false accusations of him cheating on her, and also saying that he promised her marriage. And I understand that she might have been going a little, I don't know what happened, but such a scandal could have destroyed my brother's career. It was a point made that could have jeopardized his opportunities in the future. He still stood by his decision and he decided to break things off. And it was the right thing to do because things were getting so toxic and no amount of love that my brother was giving her was justifying the toxicity in the relationship for him. So I think he did what he had to do.
And that's all. Actually, one more question. What do you, for the knowledge of the court, would you describe the whereabouts of your brother, Mr. Aditya and Anirudh Raj, on the day of the incident, 4th of October?
So I had my brothers over for dinner, and from what I remember, Aditya was home by at around 8, and Anirudh had some work to get done with, so he showed up around 8:45.
And would you please describe, for the knowledge of the court, as to where was this venue where you invited your brothers for dinner?
So it was in my house. I stay in flat number 102 in Skyline, in the MC Road, and that is where I had hosted the dinner. That's where my house was.
That's all, Your Lordships.
Why did you examine this witness?
She's the sister of the...
Yes. By what point you wanted to examine?
As to that the whereabouts of the accused at the time of the incident, as
she has not stated.
She has, Your Lordships, that they were there at her house for dinner.
That is a plea valid. Is it a plea valid?
Yes, Your Lordships.
Yes. Yes.
It's not. I'm not.
What exactly? What is the point that?
What is the purpose of it?
What is the point that you wanted to prove through this witness?
The house of the deceased is on the MC Road, as well as the house of Ishita Raj is also on the MC Road.
Okay.
And from 8:45 to the time of midnight, till the time as per the witness's statement of the...
Do you identify the statement? Yeah, the statement has been identified by the witness, Your Honor. Can election 11 be played? 11. Can you pause the video over there? Little back. Pause. Can you identify who is that?
Yeah, that's my brother Anirudh.
Anirudh Raj. At what time?
At around 8:45.
At around. It's mentioned over there.
Yeah, it's 8:45.
Yeah. Can annexure number 8 be shown? Little bit up. Can you identify that car?
Yeah.
Whose is it?
It's my brother's.
So you just stated before this court, just reminding you are under oath. You just stated before this court, you and your brothers were at your house from 8 o'clock till how much of a time? Point to be noted, Your Honor, that video, there's a contradiction over here.
So you also stated before this court just now that Anirudh has been following his dad's steps in politics, right? So this election he was contesting was a very important election for him. So anything which was coming before in his election, he had to win the election by any. Let's just rephrase the question for you. He had to win the election by any chance.
Ideally, that would be the perfect situation.
Point to be noted, Your Honor. So how often does Anirudh go to Maya's house?
Why would Anirudh go to my house?
Apologies. Aditya go to Maya's house. Apologies, Your Honor.
I am not sure about how many times he would be.
How often? I just asked how often.
Objection, Your Lordship, she has already replied.
I asked how often, not exact number of times.
I wouldn't know that.
Okay. Point to be noted, Your Honor. So, you stated that Maya was threatening your brother. When was it?
It was after he tried breaking it off with her.
When?
After the award function.
Look into the court.
After that happened, after the award function that happened.
Where?
I'm sorry, I did not quite get
Where?
it. Where did she threaten
Where did she threaten him?
In her house.
In her house. So that means that Aditya was present in her house after the award show,
Yes.
and that threatening could have caused loud noises, everything.
I mean, if you're arguing, that's
Point to
all.
be noted, Your Honor. The date is 15 September, Your Honor. So you just stated that such a scandal for Aditya Raj, quoting it, such a scandal could have destroyed my brother's career. Am I right?
Yes.
Point to be noted, Your Honor. So you also stated that any amount of love that Aditya gave Maya was not enough. So there's a whole statement you have made, okay? I'm just quoting it. Any amount of love Aditya gave to Maya was not enough. So he did what he had to do. Am I right? Point to be noted, Your Honor. So can you please state the code? What do you do as a living? What do you do for a living?
I'm the managing associate in the Raj.
You are the last witness, so 2-3 minutes if the counsel. Can you please state the code? What do you do for a living?
I'm working with my family, that is, I'm managing partner in the Raj business.
You're the
I'm the managing partner in the...
managing partner.
Yes.
Okay. So can you please define what is a managing partner? What roles do you have?
Do I have to?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, managing just looking over throughout the business and what's happening and everything like that.
So you know about the business, everything?
Even if I did, I would not prefer saying it out loud. I don't think I would prefer talking.
You know about the business, everything, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So you also stated before this court that Maya had fought with her, she was controlling her, and Aditya gave love to her, and there are small altercations between them.
I never said that. I said they had issues, which Aditya
confided in you.
Yeah, he confided in me with it, and he didn't give me explicit details of what were happening. He just told me that he wanted to step out of the relationship because it was getting too overwhelming. It was becoming too overwhelming for him.
Overwhelming for him. So, do you love your brother?
Yes.
So, anyone going against your brother, anyone causing problem to your brother, would you like them?
Relevance or not?
There is relevance. Would you?
No, I wouldn't.
I didn't get your answer.
No, I wouldn't be fond of them.
You wouldn't be fond of them. So that also means that you weren't fond of Maya?
I did
Yes
not.
or no?
I would like to explain my answer.
Can you please state yes or no, then you can give an explanation.
I never had any personal issues with her.
Yes or no?
No.
Okay. So you stated that they broke up, am I right? This last few questions the counsel will conclude. You stated that Maya and Aditya ended the relationship, am I right?
Yes, to my knowledge. On the day of the award function, on the 15th of September is what I remember.
On the 15th of September is what you remember.
we come to the core of the issue.
Your Lordships,
Yes,
with
Your
leave of the court, may I just go to the washroom?
Yeah, please. Dangerous situation.
So, what's your brother's behavior? Would he touch anyone's objects, anyone's things if he was not in a relation with them? Like just for example, the court officer, his laptop is over there. Would your brother go touch that laptop over there?
No, he wouldn't.
He wouldn't. So, how did his fingerprints come on the trophy when he broke up with her on 15th September, as explicitly stated by you?
The question you asked me is if he would touch things of people he didn't know. He knew Maya. But
Relation. They have a relation.
That question cannot be put to them. Yes. That question cannot be put to them. Cannot be put to them.
So, again, I'm asking the same question. Do you love your brothers?
Yes.
Would you go to any extent to protect your brothers?
Yes.
Point to be noted, Your Honor. That's all for the cross.
No. Wait, there are other questions. The core of the issue you are not asked.
Yes, Your Honor.
Core of the issue you are not asked.
Okay, Your Honor. If the counsel may proceed this time, the counsel may proceed.
No, I am not giving you time. Regularly.
Indeed, Your Honor. So, do you think your brothers are guilty?
No, I don't think my brothers are guilty.
So, why do you think that your brothers are not guilty?
Because I know, I've grown up with them. I know they wouldn't hurt a soul. As a woman, I know they wouldn't do anything else to another woman as well.
So, if they are not guilty, why didn't they come before this court to testify before this court that they are not guilty?
Objection, Your Lordship. Witness not testifying before the court could not be used against him.
I tell you to ask that. That is not the core of the issue.
Your Honor, my co-prosecutor would like to continue.
If the court may give a leave.
Only on that point.
Yes, Your Honor. So, you said both the brothers were present at your house at 8 o'clock, correct?
No, I said
You
one.
just said 8 o'clock.
No, I said one.
Your Honor, contradicting
That
your
part is over. That question is over.
Fine, then we see, Your Honor.
Why don't you ask the core question? He has clearly built up a motive for a brother to murder the
Right. So your brother, so you're telling your brother, so your brother had a reason to kill her because his career would get destroyed. It could not come out. Any other reasonable person in this situation, would that person have a motive to kill or not? Yes or no? Doesn't have to be your brother. I'll just remind you. Any other reasonable person, unless you think your brother is not a reasonable person, that is something up to
I
you.
still prefer to say no, they don't have to do that.
Point to be noted, Your Honor. Counsel seats.
That's all. Yes, separate the motive.
Your Honor, just a small clarification. The counsel had already pointed those questions out. So, just small clarification, Your Honor.
Yes.
They can chief another witness. They can chief another witness.
That's all over. It's over. It's over.
Okay, then. We were expecting the accused to come, Your Honor. So.
Come up with the argument.
Yes, Your Honor. 1 second, the counsel have 30 seconds to just gather everything. Much obliged, Your Honor.
We are going for a break.
Any
break?
No, that's
Continue. Is the timer on set for?
10 minutes closing.
It's done.
People can be in the same dangerous situation.
Permission to proceed, Your Honor. Now, power, resilience, death. These three words define the heart-wrenching and gruesome crime that was committed on 4th October, Your Honor. Your Honor, power, resilience, and their conquest to protect their power, affected by the fragility of their egos and the fear of exposure.
You're coming from a lawyer family?
No, Your Honor. Your Honor, beyond reasonable doubt is a duty that the prosecution has within themselves, and the prosecution will dutifully do so, Your Honor. If we come to motive, Your Honor, motive is effectively deduced from the character of the accused, Your Honor. where the accused can be seen to be aggressive individuals, to be seen as individuals who are manipulated. Now, these aggressive, manipulative individuals coming from a politically powered family, a family that has to fight an election. One of the accused has to fight an election on behalf of his father, who has been the MLA for 30 years, which means the pressure is immense. Your Honor, if one brother could not win a trophy, the other brother has to win an election, Your Honor. With this, resilience comes, Your Honor. With Maya John stating that she would hold a press conference against them. She made an Instagram live saying that she would hold this press conference, and she hinted about all of this in her award ceremony as well, Your Honor. Now they knew that if this information came out, this would destroy.
The press conference has come out in evidence.
Yes, Your Honor, the Instagram live stated that the press conference will reveal all of these things.
Gave evidence to that effect, that press conference?
Yes, Your Honor, the father came and spoke about the press conference to be held the next day.
Yes.
Much obliged, Your Honor. Your Honor, all of these things, when affecting the reputation of such people, they had to protect their reputation. They would go to any length to protect their reputation, Your Honor. Anyone in their state would do. Their own therapist says the same thing, Your Honor. Anyone in their state would go to any length to protect themselves. Their own sister said the same thing, Your Honor, just pointing it out. Your Honor, this gives motive and intention, and this attracts Section 3, Clause 5, along with 61 Clause 2, which is criminal conspiracy, Your Honor. And criminal conspiracy, Honorable Supreme Court has been the authorities that the council cites. In the case of Rajendra versus State NCT of Delhi, the Supreme Court has held that a physical agreement is not required. Both the accused being present, the physical manifestation itself is adequate for criminal conspiracy. Your Honor, judgment came in 2019, 5 years ago. Much obliged.
This judgment has come on the same line.
Your Honor, the facts were not identical but similar, where murder of an individual had taken place and 3 individuals were involved in this. The threshold was much higher there, Your Honor, where there were 3 individuals involved. Over here only 2 individuals were involved, and all 3 individuals had gone to the factory of the deceased person to kill him. If the counsel may proceed. Much obliged, Your Honor. Your Honor, this brings us to the commission also creating the chain for the circumstantial evidence. Now both of these accused were identified at Maya John's house, Your Honor, where Aditya was seen and Anirudh's car was seen. Same car that he has in so many years, same car that everyone identified to be his, the same car that Aditya does not know how to drive, as stated by his own sister, Your Honor. Your Honor, the commission has also seen when we bring out the trophy. Now the trophy has the fingerprints of both of the accused. My opposing counsel did his duty-bound job to show that the fingerprints were partial also, Your Honor. But opposing counsel also didn't forget to see the clear fingerprints, not even partial, Your Honor, clear fingerprints of the accused on almost every evidence presented, Your Honor. Clear fingerprints.
Have you got a case that there is a CCTV footage which shows both these accused person came to the place of a crime?
Your Honor, the Vrindavan Gardens as a society.
You have no such case.
Your Honor, the Vrindavan Gardens as a society did not have any CCTV recordings for the IO to submit the same, Your Honor. If CCTV recordings were present, the same would have been produced in front of this honorable court.
You have no such case.
Your Honor, the witness has seen both the accused at the scene of crime, Your Honor. And that's what brings us to the last scene theory itself, Your Honor. If we look at it, the post-mortem report puts the time of death between 6:15 to 10:15.
Garden is a flat or individual house?
It's a community with villas.
Villas.
Yes,
so there will be some CCTV footage.
Your Honor, that is up to the builders of the villa to see whether or not.
You have no case.
Your Honor,
you have to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt.
Yes, Your Honor, and the council will do so. Your Honor.
If there is CCTV, you would have made such an evidence, bring such evidence.
Your Honor, for the same, we can just establish the same chain, Your Honor, where the deceased spoke to her father at 8:15.
That is so, that should be the best evidence.
Your Honor, CCTV of the villa does not exist, Your Honor. If the same does not exist, the IO could not have been forced to submit the same.
This is a case based on circumstantial evidence.
Yes, Your
So
Honor.
there should be complete.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Chain should be so complete.
Agreed, Your
without
Honor.
any missing link.
Agreed, Your Honor. And the council will come to the same, Your Honor. where there is no break in the chain for common intention and criminal conspiracy. Now we come to actual commission.
That is why I asked whether there is any investigation from that point.
Your Honor, physical manifestation is clearly present here where both of the accused are present, identified by witnesses, Your Honor. So, physical manifestation of the agreement has already taken place. And the murder weapon being the biggest evidence here, Your Honor, having the fingerprints of both the accused. And the accused had no reason to stay in contact with Maya because Maya had already broken up. So now, having the fingerprints of both of these accused on that trophy, that was used to kill Maya John, shows a physical manifestation.
There was no blood stains or blood.
Agreed, Your Honor. That's why the council brings forth 238, Your Honor, causing disappearance of evidence.
How do you say that is what the justice is asking.
Yes, Your Honor.
Establish that this was the weapon that was used to.
Yes, Your Honor. So the doctor said clearly that this could have been a weapon that was used.
That's only opinion.
It's only an opinion.
Yes, Your Honor. Coming from an expert witness who states.
Experts' evidence is also an opinion.
Agreed, Your Honor.
It's not a proof.
Agreed, Your Honor.
It's not a proof.
Agreed, Your Honor.
It cannot substitute for proof.
Agreed, Your Honor.
Moreover, the recovery in this case cannot be coming under Section 22 of the BNS.
But Your Honor,
that the entire statement that is incriminating, that is not admissible.
Agreed, Your Honor.
Fact remains that there is a recovery.
Agreed, Your Honor.
But that cannot be brought under Section 23 of the BNS BSA and that's old 27 of the Evidence Act.
Your Honor.
So recovery is there, but that recovery cannot be treated to be a recovery under 27 so as to fasten liability with the accused in the absence of a proper
circumstantial evidence, Your Honor.
or statement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Leading to recovery.
Yes, Your Honor. And may the public prosecutor beg to differ from Your Honors and come to the recovery itself, Your Honor.
You can bring it in another context.
Yes, Your Honor. So the accused himself volunteered and came to the police station. And so far as the accused came and gave the statement to the police, the admissibility is up to Your Honor's wise consideration. Although the court has held in multiple instances, Your Honor, that it is in itself not a very weak piece of evidence. If it's corroborated by other evidences, the same can be used. If we look at both of the confessions, Your Honor, both of the confessions say that we went to Maya John's house as placed by witnesses.
That unknowingly established that the accused and the accused alone has committed the crime and none else other than the accused has committed the crime, and it excludes all other hypotheses other than the accused being guilty of
To explain away the fingerprint of the other third person also.
Yes, sir.
Principle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, if we have to look into whether someone else would have been involved.
Your business. It's your job.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, if someone else had to be involved, Your Honor, there would be a complete fingerprint used to kill Maya John.
What are the circumstances? 1, 2, 3. What are the circumstances?
Your Honor, so both the accused were present at Maya John's house. Both the accused used the trophy to kill Miss Maya John.
So, presence of the accused is the presence of the defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
One of the circumstances.
Presence of the
Yes, Your Honor. And there is no, Your Honor, there is no other reasonable doubt as to there was no one else present.
That is circumstance number 1. What is circumstance number 2?
Circumstance number 2 is presence of fingerprints of the accused on the murder weapon, Your Honor.
Okay.
Trophy. Circumstance number 3 is trophy belonging to Maya John, which was used to kill her. Circumstance number 3, that the accused number 1 went and confessed voluntarily to a judicial magistrate after the judicial magistrate read out clearly to accused number 1 that this could be used against him, and the same was retracted 2 months later.
He stated that both the accused are there for the commission of the crime. No. He says that only he himself committed.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is believed the other man will escape.
No, Your Honor. To the same effect, Your Honor, the defense brought out how close their bond is. The defense brought out how they would not want each other to suffer.
That's not the point that justice is asking. What justice is asking is, you have a confession in your pocket. Good.
Yes, sir.
But there is also a statement of the other accused who say which is totally contradictory to this confession. That is what the justice is saying.
Your Honor, to that effect, it is to be noted that both of the accused do not have any alibi because only, Your Honor, if the prosecution may get a minute to come to that point, Your Honor. Much obliged.
You're very brilliant, but you're not prepared.
Your Honor, just 1 minute and the prosecutor will get.
Yes.
Your Honor, the prosecutor will get to that in 1 minute, Your Honor. So, now both the accused do not have an alibi that places them anywhere else other than the scene of crime. Your Honor, because they are not placed anywhere else other than the scene of the crime. While one witness says that they were present at the scene of crime, identifies them, identifies their car. That is the point of the prosecutor made. Much obliged.
What is circumstance number 4?
Yes, Your Honor. The circumstance number 4 is the recovery of the murder weapon, Your Honor. Recovery of the murder weapon, which was hidden with the accused, Your Honor. That is very pertinent. Hidden in their house.
That is covered with the bed sheet. It was placed on the bed.
Your Honor, how the accused decides to hide it is beyond the prosecution's scope.
Where was it placed?
It was inside their almirah under bed sheets.
Almirah.
Yes, Your Honor.
Covered with bed sheet.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, how the accused decides to hide the evidence is up to them. This also brings into question the accused if they couldn't win one award, if they couldn't win one election. As to how they can hide it is also up to Your Honor's side.
Legally, that cannot be brought under section 23.
Yes, Your Honor. For the same effect.
But still, it remains as a contact. Can you?
Then circumstance number 6.
4 over, Your Honor. Circumstance number 6. No, circumstance number 6 is clear that they said that police had planted evidence. They said that there could have been some brutality because of which they were under pressure. Now there is no medical.
What is the circumstance number 6 which established guilt?
Your Honor, these. Yes, Your Honor. If the prosecutor may get much obliged, Your Honor.
2 minutes, brother, 2 minutes.
Up to Your Honor's vice consideration. Your Honor, the cell phone tower analysis that places.
Tower, CDR.
Yes, sir. That places both of the accused in Vrindavan Gardens at the time of which the death had occurred, Your Honor.
That is the longitude and the latitude, GPS. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. And that is also corroborated with witnesses who saw them at the scene of crime, and also not corroborated by their sister who says that they were at the scene of crime, Your Honor.
No. Defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense let it be false.
Yes, Your Honor. Much obliged, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Really.
In 7.
Your Honor, so these are the 6 chinks that show.
You have not argued.
Motive the prosecutor argued in the very first limb, Your Honor, where 3 clause 5 and 61 clause 2 had been established in front of this honorable court. The same had been established under this honorable court, Your Honor. Your Honor, it is also to come to the 7th circumstance. The car was parked right outside their house, of Maya John's house. Same time, the heart rate fell below 40 beats per minute, Your Honor. Same time. The heart rate fell below 40 beats per minute. Same time.
As per the watch.
As per the watch. As per the Apple Watch that she was wearing, it said that at 9:30 p.m. when the accused whose car was present outside Maya John's house, her heart rate. She was 27 years old. Yes, sir.
There is a sudden onset of period, heart rate will fall.
You know, below 40 beats per minute and continuously falling is also a very important thing, you know, because heart rate would not fall below just like that, Your Honor. And this was right when the accused were present at the scene of crime, as confirmed by that car and as confirmed by the cell phone tower analysis.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. So
Why do you explain the
yes, Your Honor. So, as according to the fingerprints of the other persons, Your Honor, these are partial fingerprints, which means that these fingerprints could have come before. These fingerprints could have come 3-4 months ago.
coupled with that, threatening a heavy person, as stated by witness.
Yes, Your Honor. The same thing about the heavy witness, Your Honor. Now, if the security guard had to travel from one end to the other end.
Don't argue on the defense evidence. Defense evidence we agree may be false. You have to
Yes, sir.
construct your.
Yes, Your Honor. So, if there was some other person, the prosecutor asks 1 minute. Yes, Your Honor.
That's all. Any other point?
To answer the same question, Your Honor, the prosecutor would like to bring in the last scene theory. Now, the last scene person with the deceased was the accused, which means that there was no one who could be with her reasonably, and she died at around 10 p.m. and she was
The scene theory is not strictly applicable. Nobody has seen these 2 persons together.
Indeed, Your Honor.
Together. Not strictly applicable. You can bring in an evidence.
Indeed, Your Honor. Indeed, Your Honor. But her death occurred around 10 p.m., Your Honor. And their car was parked there until 9:30, until 9:40, until 9:45. The accused was in their house until the same time, Your Honor, without any testimony, any alibi, or any other corroborative evidence of the accused being elsewhere. To this, Your Honor, an omission cannot be a
That's all.
Yes, an omission cannot be a contradiction, Your Honor, to the same effect.
Okay.
Your Honor, for which the public prosecutors humbly pray that the accused be charged with 103, 117,
No, you already charged.
Found guilty. Yes, sir, apologies, sir. Found guilty of 103, 131,
Yes.
117.
What about the sentence to be hanged or?
Your Honor, Your Honor, the final sentence remains upon the court's consideration, and whatever the court may deem fit through that order will be complied with the same. Much obliged, Your Honor. It was an honor arguing towards.
Can I tell you something?
Indeed, Your Honor.
You take it as an offense.
No, Your Honor.
I like you very much, that is it.
Yes, sir.
The problem with the lawyer in this case.
Yes, sir.
Very easy. He may be very, very brilliant. If you don't put up real hard work and sweat.
Yes, sir.
Very nice personality.
Yeah, very nice, very intelligent.
Indeed, Your Honor. The same is taken in good spirit, Your Honor. Same taken in good spirit.
Yes. I like the way you approach things, way you go with the facts, way you process and
Thank you, Your Honor. It was an honor arguing before this court.
in a pleasant manner. Pleasant manner without getting excited.
Yes.
You are very good.
Yes.
But a little more, but a little
hard work is required.
Indeed, Your Honor. The same is taken into
In this case, you are not good.
Yes.
Don't feel jealous because I said
Absolutely not, Your Lordship.
Good cross-examination. Yes.
Your Lordship, Defence Counsel seeks permission to begin with the closing arguments. Your Lordship, this particular case is entirely based upon circumstantial evidences, Your Lordship. The standard of proof required to convict a person on circumstantial evidence is well established by a series of decisions of the Honorable Supreme Court. As there is a case Govinda Reddy and others mentioned in page number 21 of the compendium, if Your Lordships may refer.
Yes, you submit about the missing links, if any. Then
That
it
is
will
the
be
point.
missing links.
Regarding
which are the missing links? You
Coming.
Directly to that.
Directly to that.
Yes,
Your
so that we can save the time.
Because you don't argue
The
principles
principle
of
we are all are aware.
Understood.
So you directly come to that.
Understood, Your Lordship. It has been mentioned by the public prosecutor that the chain of evidences that they have mentioned. The first chain is that they have seen that the witnesses have seen the accused at the Vrindavan Garden residency, which was stated by Ashwini Vijayakumari. During the cross-examination of Ashwini Vijayakumari, it was clear that she was confusing in identifying the accused as to it is Aditya Raj or Anirudh Raj. Also, in furtherance of that, she made a lot of.
Nobody would say that they can identify these twins.
Understood.
Both are identical twins. So they might be in confusion which person this is Aditya Raj or the other one.
In addition to that, Your Lordship, severe omissions were noted during the witness testimony of Mrs. Ashwini Vijayakumar, which have been marked as D3 because before this honorable court. Further, Your Lordship, she stated in her witness statement during her chief examination that she came back at 9:30, whereas during her cross it was established that she would have came back around 9:10 on the day of the incident, Your Lordship. So the first chain of event of the prosecution is disproved, Your Lordship, that the accused was seen in the vicinity of the Vrindavan Garden. Moving further, Your Lordship, moving to the murder weapon. The murder weapon, your lordship, was retracted. If at all that recovery mahazar stands before this honorable court, that murder weapon was retracted from the vicinity, from the house of the accused. So the presence of fingerprints can be explained, your lordship, because it was given by the hands of the accused to the police officers. But as to no DNA sample, no blood stains, nothing of the deceased was recovered from this particular the murder weapon, and the prosecution has not presented any other evidence which conclusively and beyond a reasonable doubt establishes that that particular trophy was the murder weapon used to murder Miss Maya John on the night of 4th of October, your lordship.
Ask the police officer how the material object was given to her by the accused.
I did not, your lordship. There was a...
That's a presumption. It was taken out and given. It was taken out and given. That's normal.
It is mentioned in the recovery mahazar, your lordship. It is mentioned in the recovery mahazar, your lordship.
On that. Yes. Regarding trophy, you explained. It is by prosecution that in the finger ring there was a fingerprint of the accused person. There is evidence has come in. And how you can explain, it is very easily explainable, how you can explain.
Your lordship, it has been established through the witness test.
Such a fingerprint is possible in a ring, taken by the investigating officer during inquest.
It's
whether the it's a point you have to explain. How fingerprint is explainable.
Your lordship,
it's a you can treat it as a court question. The evidence of the prosecution is that trophy fingerprint, that is you are explaining, they are establishing a fingerprint on the ring that was worn by the deceased, taken out by the investigating officer. Whose fingerprint will be
that can be, your lordships, that can be explained through, there's a video of the deceased and the accused together just a day before, like 1 month before the incident that has happened. So might be possible that it has came from there. Also they were in a...
You did not get my point. You did not get my point. Yeah. I want to see that how you explain the fingerprint seen in the ring.
How do I explain that, your lordship?
You have to explain.
Yes,
your fingerprint is, according to prosecution, your fingerprint is there in the ring.
Both the deceased and the accused.
Both brothers.
No, your lordships. The ring finger, the finger only has the ring, the finger.
The accused number 1.
Accused number 1. Yes, your lordships.
Accused number 1 is fingerprint is seen in the ring.
Yes.
How you explain that?
Your lordships, it has been established by the witness testimony of Mr. Rishita Raj that they both were friends, and at one point of time they were in a relationship. So it is possible that around 1 or 2 days ago they both met, and that is how that fingerprint has came on the ring of the deceased.
That is not the...
Might be the hand touched, your lordships. Might be the hand touched, your lordship.
That is not an explanation expected from a... There is some other explanation is possible. Some other explanation.
You have to explain that, right?
Because their fingerprint is there. Fingerprint is there. You can make many explanations, you can make many challenges.
Your lordships, the defense counsel, it is for the prosecution's burden to establish this case beyond reasonable doubt, your lordships. The duty...
One of the strong link. Yes. According to prosecution, this is one of the strong link.
One of the...
And the fingerprint, that is unique. That is unique. See, so how a fingerprint can be seen in a ring that has been recovered by the police, that the fingerprint belongs to. There are many possibilities, many ways, whether you have got any explanations why this fingerprint was seen in this.
No, your lordships.
You lose the case.
Your lordships, it is...
There are many possibilities. One possibility, that accused might have been there. Accused might have been touched. See, then this is not regarding the case. This will not affect your argument. This will not affect your argument. Then, only to make you aware, as an academic interest. Another possibility, this finger ring is to be taken out by the investigating officer like this. Then whose fingerprint will be asked? The investigating officer. Then, how the fingerprint of the accused comes? Then this fingerprint is being given to the hands of the accused and his fingerprint is obtained by the investigative officer. That should have been your defense. That should have been your defense. This will not affect your argument. I am only bringing a fact. Is it not correct?
But the prosecution...
Not regarding the case. Not at all affecting the case. The possibility of a defense. The argument of a defense. That should have been like that. It's only a small thing. If I am taking out my ring, this will be my fingerprint. This fingerprint is taken by the IU. Then how comes fingerprint of the accused? Then the possible argument that can be raised by the defense is that this fingerprint might have been given to the hands of the accused and a fingerprint is obtained. That is a defense. That is not.
But as in the chain of events...
I will go in favor of the prosecution now. Because that stands there.
Your Lordship, the chain of events that they have mentioned, there is nowhere mentioned about that fingerprint on that particular ring finger, Your Lordship.
No, inquest they have recovered, and in the inquest there is evidence.
It's a body of the deceased. During inquest it was recovered.
The body inquest it was recovered.
This is a small thing. Probably you can have many fingerprints in many times, many ways. This is a very, very, very small thing. It's only an academic interest I am telling you. You are all going to be great lawyers.
It is always born on your finger. It's very strange that another person's fingerprint happens to be there.
Understanding your Lordship.
This is only for the academic, not only for you. Everybody who is present. Every lawyer, prospective lawyers who is present, not to you. You can make your own argument. This will not affect your case also.
Understood, Your Lordship. May I move to the next chain of evidence?
Any other points? Any other missing links you want?
Yes, Your Lordships.
With regard to the two views possible, one which
I have been very I've just started presenting my case, Your Lordships. Just give me some time, Your Lordships. Yes, Your Lordships.
Because we many times.
Yes.
we asked several questions.
That was next chain of events that the prosecution has mentioned in the confession, Your Lordships. It has
being a defense lawyer, this is what is also told by me.
And it was really insightful.
These are all very, very final points. Very final points. When you take a defense, these are all very, very final points. Where you get bloody stuck. Only when the prosecution ultimately brings up this question.
They have to prove it.
And if the prosecutor, you know what happens? He will just keep quiet.
Your duty is to
and the judge also will keep quiet.
Yes, defense. Circumstantial evidence.
Nobody will know that the evidence is there against you. But ultimately, when the matter goes for arguments, the prosecutor will point out, absolutely there is no explanation. Then you are bloody stuck. And take you to the gallows. It happens.
Okay, you continue. In your own way, take 5 more minutes.
Yes. We did a case together. He was the prosecution, I was the defense.
And you got stuck, Your Lordships.
I got stuck in the DNA.
And I am the judge. I am the prosecution.
I was sentenced.
Recent case last year.
Very recent case. The DNA lifting, he succeeded in DNA lifting. He proved that when the DNA came to the lab, I was not arrested.
We were fighting together.
He was for the prosecution, I was for the defense.
Your Lordships. May I proceed, Your Lordships? The next...
Sometime in your own way you proceed.
Sure, Your Lordships. Sure, Your Lordships. The next chain of events is put out by the prosecution is the confession, Your Lordships. I would like to read section 22 of the Bharatiya Shaks Adhiniyam. A confession made by an accused person is irrelevant in a criminal proceeding. That too, it is a confession which has been retracted, Your Lordships, if the making of the confession appears to the court to have been caused by an inducement. It is clear from the cross-examination of the investigating officer that there was a delay in producing the accused before the magistrate. Also, Your Lordships, if Also, Your Lordships, the IO has deliberately hide the Vistra report, as in he has not mentioned about the Vistra report neither in the final report of investigation nor.
From the point, you argue on this confession. You are arguing on confession, admissibility of confession. Now you are jumping to this.
Two confessions are there.
One is a disclosure statement, Your Lordship, which is. One is a
disclosure statement,
which is given to the police, which is anyways not admissible, Your Lordships.
The other thing is the magistrate.
164 confession.
Yes, 164 confession, Your
You are
Lordship.
arguing on that. Then you are jumping to the Visra.
Visra also is a good point for you.
That you argue separately.
Your Lordships, as I have mentioned that section 22 of the code states that the court can disregard the confession. Anyways, Your Lordships, a retracted confession has only corroborated value. It does not have a conclusive value, Your Lordships. And Lordships, decision.
Supporting decision. That is.
Okay, next point.
Next point, Your Lordships.
Evidentiary value of a retracted confession. Okay.
Your Lordships, the next point that they have mentioned is about the GPS, Your Lordships, that they have stated. Therefore, I would like to bring it out to the notice of this Honorable Court that there was no GPS report, Your Lordships. That was a cell tower analysis report, which is not accurate to the pinpoint, Your Lordships. And the report states that their mobile phones were seen peaking near the vicinity of Vrindavan Gardens, not exactly inside the Vrindavan Gardens, Your Lordship. As to when Mr. Ishita Raj was brought before this Honorable Court as a witness, she has clearly mentioned that both the accused were at her house for dinner, and it has been not crossed by the prosecution counsel.
Between these two houses. Whether this will come out in the same tower.
It's in the same road, situated in the same road, Your Lordships, MC Road.
That does not mean that it will come under the same tower.
Same tower.
Whether it will come under the same tower.
Suppose both the houses comes under the same tower. This tower location loses its importance.
But it is situated in the same, MC Road is a small road, Your Lordships, as mentioned in the proposition, and her house is also situated in that particular road only, and she has given in her witness.
What is the difference between these two houses?
Not on record.
It is not clear, but it is situated on the same road, Your Lordships. Further, Miss.
Not on the same road.
It is on MC Road.
The proposition is closing now. The proposition.
It was off record.
Off record.
It was said off record. So it's yes, I'm just aiding the court in justice.
I think this GPS fixing is on the basis of latitude and longitudinal meeting, isn't it?
That particular report, Your Lordships.
Yeah, that is how they do it. GPS location, fixing the location.
Your Lordships, it has been mentioned in Annexure 12. I request Your Lordships to please refer to Annexure 12 of the which is on page number 72 of the proposition.
What is the level of accuracy of that?
It clearly states that it is a cell tower analysis, mobile tower data pertaining to mobiles numbers of both the accused, Your Lordships.
On the basis of latitude
and also in addition to that, this report does not hold any value, Your Lordship, because this is produced. This is the
Malbuda region.
Your Lordships, this report has analyzes the data of their phones between 9:15 to 9:30. Whereas from the witness statement of Ashwini Vijayakumar, it is clear that at 9:30 she could not have. Car was directly linked to the accused. A mere showing of the photo of a car which is black in color, which is Thar. There are millions of Thars in India with the lawyer's emblem, Your Lordship.
There is a digital evidence.
Number plate is there.
But Ashwini Vijayakumar has not identified the number.
There is digital evidence. Fixing on a certain point. There is a conflicting of oral evidence, ocular evidence, which has to be followed.
Your Lordships, the digital evidence needs to be preferred, Your Lordships.
Scientific evidence has to be preferred, isn't it?
Yes, Your Lordships.
Means you are there.
Your Lordships, I am saying that this report does not hold any value, Your Lordships, because it analyzes the cell tower data between 9:15 to 9:45, Your Lordships. Whereas it is it is not evident from any witness testimony, any of the evidences presented by the prosecution that between this time frame they were at that location. Indeed, it is clear from the defense DW3's statement that they were at her house and she was not being crossed, Your Lordship. Things not contradicted. Yes, Your Lordship. Things not contradicted in cross-examination is established to be truth before this honorable court, is established to be a fact before this honorable court, Your Lordship. So the fact of this time is that both accused 1 and accused 2 were at the house of her sister, which is Miss Ishita Raj, Your Lordship.
Take it to the play valley.
You are free of alibi.
That will take you to a play valley.
You have stated that both these brothers were in their house as per the evidence of the sister.
If you touch alibi, if you don't prove it conclusively, you are lost.
The defense does not have any further evidences.
I was asking you, I wanted to meet you, how you logically meet that point. Actually, I asked.
Your Lordship, it was given in the witness it was testified rightfully before this honorable court, and it was not being crossed by the opposite counsel. The plea of alibi and all of these things should have been brought by the prosecution, and if that their chance of cross has gone out, Your Lordships, then these things are established to be the facts of this particular case as of now, until re-examination of the witness happens, Your Lordship. That is what my argument is, Your Lordships. Moving further from that, Your Lordship, while conducting the chief examination of the investigating officer, it is clear that he did not. I'll just move on to state that as it was mentioned by my learned counsel in the opening statement, the Sharad Birtichand Sharda versus the state of Maharashtra, where the Panchsheel test was laid down. Yes, Your Lordship, in 1984, which is on page number 27 of the compendium, Your Lordships. The first test is the circumstances from which the conclusion of guilt to be drawn must be fully established. In this particular case, none of the circumstances has been fully established, Your Lordships. The facts established should be consistent with the hypothesis of guilt of the accused, Your Lordship. They have.
That's law.
This is?
That's law.
Your Lordships. I'm stating one by one that how all of these things are not proved beyond this honorable court, and it also state that they should exclude every possible hypothesis except the one to be proved. There is another hypothesis which is coming from the witness testimony of the father of the deceased, John Matthew, which is also coming from the Annexure 7, which has been marked as D4, Defense Exhibit number 4 before this honorable court, that. And also from the chats that were there between the father and the daughter, which is marked as Annexure D1 before this honorable court, that there is another hypothesis, another person who is threatening the accused. The accused is making videos, texting about that particular person on the day of the incident itself. All of these things were ruled out by the prosecution and not even properly investigated into Your Lordships. This raises severe doubts as to what kind of investigation that they have did, and leave a reasonable doubt, Your Lordships. Any particular evidence as to does not link, even the murder weapon does not link conclusively that was the particular weapon which was used in committing the murder of the deceased, Your Lordship. All of these things, Your Lordship, when corroborated with the established, Your Lordships.
You're mixing your points. You take circumstances one by one.
He's concluding.
I'm concluding, Your Lordships. Lordships, it is clearly mentioned by the Honorable Supreme Court in Harendra Naren Singh versus the State of Bihar 1991, mentioned on page 30 of the compendium, Your Lordships, that there is a basic rule in criminal jurisprudence that if two views are possible on evidence adduced in a case of circumstantial evidence, one pointing to the guilt, another pointing to the innocence, then the court should adopt the one favorable to the innocence of the accused, Your Lordships. Further, bringing to this particular case, which is Ashish Bantham versus State of Madhya Pradesh, 2002, which is mentioned on page number 15 of the compendium of the Lordships, please may refer. That it's a very long.
You leave it all those. Any other point?
Points. These are the points, Your Lordship.
Isra, you have started. Isra.
Yes, Your Lordship. I have mentioned, Your Lordship, that the investigating officer. That is suppressed, Your Lordship.
Deliberately suppressed.
Visra is suppressed, Your Lordship. The accused are not present before the magistrate within the 24 hours stipulated time frame. The investigating officer himself, before this honorable court, has accepted that the Visra came, but it was not produced before this honorable court.
Explanation from the investigating officer with regard to the Visra.
No, Your Lordships. He mentioned. No proper
explanation from her.
No proper explanation was given. Also, it was excluded from the final report of investigation, which as tend to be produces as to the what conclusion.
I just want to ask you, supposing that the Visra report had come, how would it affect you?
That depends upon what the contents of the Visra report were, Your Lordships. And that is to delve into the hypothesis, and the whole case of the defense is that there are like numerous hypotheses in this particular case, and no particular evidences, no chain of evidences linked to the guilt of the accused in this particular.
Counsel, what about the motive? You have proved the motive by examining that sister. You also proved that. Examining the sister of the accused. What about that?
Why did you do this hierarchy?
Why you examine that?
That is hierarchy for you.
Yes. Normally we
the law is not sufficient. But that's
what fortifies the case of the prosecution.
Your Lordships, that particular witness testified as to whatever she has testified was the truth in this particular case, Your Lordships. On 15th of September, there were accusations made. As there were rumors that they both are in a relationship, those accusations were attributed against accused number 1, Your Lordships. And
she was very careful in seeing to it that if you did not have any motive, she excellently provided.
Yes. That itself is not sufficient. That itself is not sufficient
to prove one of the material aspects, that is proof.
That alone is not sufficient.
Yes.
Counsel breaks the extension of work 1 minute to conclude.
Okay.
Your Lordship, moving further to the punishment for murder, to the specific sections that the accused were charged for, Your Lordships, they are charged with section 101C. This case should be brought under section 101C of the BNS. The essence of this clause is to prove that the injury inflicted was sufficient in due course of nature to cause death, Your Lordships. Although in the closing arguments of the prosecution, there has been no clear mention as to what injury inflicted from the murder weapon and is it sufficient in the due course of nature to cause death. None of these things were.
Which particular injury caused that, or combination of which
injuries caused death, Your Lordship. Further, moving on to the section 3(5) of the BNS, which is joint liability, Your Lordships. The Honorable Supreme Court has clearly stated in Chelappa versus State, which is a case of 2020, that the general principle is that common intention is defined in section 34 implies a pre-arranged plan and acting in concert with pursuant to the pre-arranged plan, Your Lordship. It insists on the prior meeting of minds. Nowhere it has been established by the prosecution that there was a common intention, as to say there was a pre-arranged plan between both the accused to commit this murder of Maya John, and as to the reason that why would they, the counsel would like to proceed with the prayer, Your Lordships.
Yes.
And
so they have to be acquitted. That's all.
I'm proceeding with
Yes,
Wherefore, in light of the issues raised, argument advanced, and authorities cited, may this honorable court be pleased to acquit Mr. Aditya Raj and Mr. Anirudh Raj of the alleged offences under Section 103 murder, read with Section 3(5) of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023, pass and or pass any order it may deem fit in the interest of justice, equity, and good conscience. Thank you, Your Lordships.
Just a small doubt. They have asked about acquittal for 103 and 3 clause 5 honor. That means they have accepted other offences and other charges have framed against them.
Not like that. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And then clear out the table. Tap sheet. And then tap
Okay, we can get that. Let them sit. I got it. We will come back in 10-15 sure. They can
Is there some mark must be?
open this door.
Tap sheet has been taken.
The editing studio. Bliss.